and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on,
every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on,
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
and it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone. Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense when I do curl.
Well, we got to not kill that. It's got to just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4 foot with hack.
Really good spots for Miller.
I
think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the red guards back. Oh, baby.
Yeah, if it's dead nose and just, it's going to go spinning. This actually might catch 2 and just leak back.
I think it does.
Okay, so it might, yep. Close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking, and we needed to like use signs and show what we meant instead of just shouting out a number or like play this hit and roll kind of thing. We had to show everything, so that added another level, I guess, to our game. After that, we've been a little better when the crowd is loud or when you can't hear as well.
Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they like line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
and when the pressure's on,
every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on,
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
and it's the choice of champions.
Welcome inside the Sleeman Center in Guelph, Ontario. I'm Brent Lang, joined by two-time Scotties Tournament of Heart champion. Two-time, right, Chelsea?
Two-time, yes.
Not done yet, but two-time.
We'll see.
Chelsea Carey. And we're bringing you the Grand Slam of Curling, the WFG Masters, the fourth leg of the best series of curling in the world, best against best, top 16 teams in the world on the men's and ladies side. And we've got a full ladies draw here tonight. And we're going to feature the Team Homan, Team Laws, an all-Canadian battle. Two of the top teams in Canada. Team Homan is the top team in the world by any measure this year. It doesn't matter really who you talk to. Some people may even think they're the best men's team in the world if they played, but I'm not sure that Mowat would
I don't
agree.
know. Yeah, I'm not sure if they'd beat Mowat. But other than that, you could make definitely an argument for it.
Right? Well, they're doing everything they're supposed to do, winning like 96% of their games. I think they've lost 2 games, so
40-2 on the season.
Pretty good. I can't say I've ever been on a team that was 40-2.
40 wins in a season is big. Never mind.
Pretty good.
40-2.
Right? So we'll see how that one goes. The other games across the sheet here, we've got Team Ha versus Team Rana, Team Tabata versus Team Anderson, and Team Fujisawa versus Team Skurlik. Now, both our teams in the feature matchup are 1-0. Team Homan took care of Team Ha yesterday, and Team Laws took down Team Rana. So both 1-0. Everybody racing to get to that 3 wins, which all but guarantees you a playoff spot. Mathematically, I guess it doesn't, but I've never seen it not get in, so this will be the week now that we've said it out loud, put it out in the universe, as
The
Fry would say.
commentator curse coming in hot again.
Right?
The game hasn't even started yet, and you already got one of those in.
So, Chelsea, you've played against all 8 of these players 100 times, so what do you expect from both of these teams tonight? And do you know that, Caitlin's style skipping yet? Have you played against her enough?
I haven't played against her a ton since she started skipping again. I played against her when she was skipping in juniors because we both were growing up in Winnipeg. She's a lot younger than me, but towards the end of my junior career, she was already playing and skipping. So I think the ball has to be in Team Law's court a little bit here, given Team Homan's dominance, both this season and also their lifetime series is 8-2 for Homan, and this year is 2-0 for Homan. So I think for Team Law is going to need to obviously play their best and try to put some pressure on Team Homan. We did see Team Ha put some pressure on Team Homan in a few instances, and Rachel made the bail shot all the time. So going to be on them to do that and try not to leave Rachel something to bail, which is easier said than done with Rachel Homan. But it should be a great game. Both really very good teams, but Team Homan coming in with an incredible amount of momentum against just about anybody right now.
Yeah, and I think Rachel's become more and more aggressive as she's become a better and better draw player. The only knock that was ever against this team was as good as anybody at hitting, but weren't the best draw team, and I don't think that that's the case anymore. Rachel herself has worked on it, and I think that's a big reason why they're dominant. Up and down the lineup, they just outplay their counterparts. So when you say Caitlin's 2-8, I mean, that's not even that bad.
No, it's not, but that's only when Caitlin was skipping too, so it's a bit skewed where all the years there where she played third for Jen. So there's a big gap in that. If you look at the head-to-head, it goes from 2015 or so to 2023. So definitely a big gap there. But yeah, it's always, I think it's an uphill battle for anybody playing Rachel right now, but I think it's certainly more than possible. We have seen them give some opportunities and some openings, and we've seen the other skip or the opposing team miss that shot, that opportunity. So big thing here for Team Laws is going to be to jump on any misses that you get, because you're not going to get a ton of them, but with the skill that Team Laws has, they're more than capable of making that shot. So that's, I think, going to be the biggest key for them.
Yeah, unfortunately for Team Laws, didn't win the draw to the button. So Team Homan will start with the hammer just in case they needed another advantage. I did watch the first end of the Homan Ha game, not live. I watched it today. Rachel requested I watch it. Rachel and I played it obviously in the mixed doubles trials, and while I was throwing one in mixed doubles, it's even harder when people are running around or kind of moving while you're throwing.
The official that was moving behind the sheet.
Yeah, so at the trial, she had run in behind to watch my shot as I'm sliding out, and I said to her, when I'm competing, I don't really like anybody other than my teammates. So I said to Rach, I don't care what you do, but you got to get there faster. And she was fine about it. And then she says to me, you got to watch our first end against Ha. I'm like, why? She said, I got a taste of my own medicine. I was like, who in the world can give you a taste of your own medicine? And she said, just watch. I think you'll like it.
It's a fair question. I was calling that game, so I saw it. And even after she asked, and of course she's asking Tracy Fleury, who's the nicest person ever and doesn't want to have any conflict, to turn around and say to but the official was talking to Team Ha.
It was weird.
It was very weird, and I don't know what they were talking about, but she turned around and said something, and the official still was moving around behind the sheet, so I didn't blame her for stopping it, but I didn't realize that you guys had that. It was bad, yes, I agree.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe that official speaks Korean. I don't know. What could they be talking about?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Anyway, Kristen Gordon, Robbie, recently married to another curler. Us curlers, it's a small world, and sometimes we never leave the world. But throws up the guard, and Sarah Wilkes a little heavy, kind of, not the worst place you could put it. The worst would be a high guard, but not the best place. So a chance for Kristen to lock one on here and put some early pressure on Team Homan. Both of these teams, I don't follow the points as closely as maybe as I should, but both of these teams are a lock for the Olympic trials, I would say, Chelsea. Obviously, Rachel is already in the trials, I gotta imagine.
Rachel's in for sure. I haven't looked closely enough, but I think with the current situation and some team changes and stuff, I don't see Caitlin not getting in. I think she was already getting in regardless. So.
All the other teams have to have lost all their points by now because nobody's got the same team.
Yeah, well, that's less true on the women's side than it is on the men's side.
Very true.
But it is still a factor.
Kristen makes no mistake there, locking it on, and now Sarah will have to follow it down and ideally move this and free up that back red one.
Yeah, this is a mixed doubles shot. This is
totally is
like your first rock probably in doubles a lot of the time when the freeze gets made and you're trying to just unlock it a little bit. It's
This is what I normally do too. Sorry, Jen. Help me out. That's just way too hard, and tends to be what happens. When I'm throwing that shot, and because I did that far too often, especially early in mixed doubles, I think draw and sweep it late. And if we freeze, fine. You can't do that. But advantage Team Laws. And speaking of mixed doubles, Jocelyn, I'm not saying she's not a good curler in ladies, but man, is she good in mixed doubles. I don't know what. Maybe it's the confidence Brett brings. Maybe it's the sweeping Brett gives her, but she's as good as anybody in mixed doubles.
Doesn't hurt, but yeah, and as a team, they're just incredible. And they've been playing doubles together since it became a medal sport. Since that first year, they won the Canadian Championship the first year and couldn't go to Worlds because at that time it still conflicted with the Grand Slam of Curling Players Championship. But yeah, they were incredible all week, and Joss played amazing. So congratulations to them. They will be Team Canada at first at the Worlds in Fredericton, I believe, trying to guarantee Canada a spot at the Olympics, and then hopefully, if they do that, Team Canada at the Olympics.
Yeah, lots of pressure on them, but I do love what Curling Canada did, and Scott Pfeiffer's done an unreal job with the mixed doubles program over the last couple of years and worked tirelessly. I've seen it. He's been all over the place and constantly doing things, and at least they get to go earn their own spot. If we don't have a spot already, I think it makes the most sense to send the team that nothing would feel worse than to be the team that goes and you don't qualify, and then do we even have a mixed doubles trials?
Right.
Hey, Brent and Jen won, and then they canceled the mixed doubles trials.
Yeah, that I agree. I think that what they did is the right thing. I think in order to do it that way, you had to first decide that it was okay for the athletes to play both disciplines at the Olympics, which I think is the right move as well. So, yeah, I think solid move there, and yeah, good for them to have another event with a bunch of pressure, and you're wearing the maple leaf on your back, and you go and do that and try to earn the spot. And then if you do earn the spot, you're coming in with the confidence that you just beat all the same teams that you're going to have to face at the Olympics and stuff. So very logical plan there, which I quite like. For Joss looking to just replace this guard, but this is looking like it might be a little bit longer than they were hoping it would be.
Made the freeze perfectly. Comfortable with that. Another mixed double shot. That's the...
Just pick one off.
Needs to move the back one, so yeah, as you said, Chelsea, the guard's a little long, so maybe Rachel can drill one out of here, kill the backing, and give herself a chance to score. Right now, there's no chance. Emma didn't make any noise on her first run back.
Yep, hard. Hard.
Don't say feather tick.
Okay.
Oh.
At least she got the guard off.
Yeah. With that weight, it would be not impossible, but pretty hard to feather it over. But yeah, not the result. So I think for Selena Negevin, we'll look to put this a little bit tighter than that. And obviously that one also over curled a hair to leave Emma a little bit of that outside rock that she could take a run at that.
Right in front of it, right at the top of the World Financial Group logo, I think would be perfect. I did one time see Pat Simmons, and I don't know if he'll remember, playing third for Kevin Cooey, threw peel weight on the exact same shot twice, touched the guard and didn't move it either time and missed everything in the house. Back-to-back shots.
I'm sure he remembers it. I would lose a lot of sleep over that.
This is really tight. Don't want this in the rings where they can blow it up and stay in the rings, that's for sure.
Just let it sit. No, just leave it.
Selena's saying curl, begging for them to curl it so it'll slow down. But yeah, they could have swept that to frozen, would have been better. You can hear Jocelyn. It's easy to say now, but
it did the trick.
but Tracy Fleury's first in the first end here. Hit and stay, but more importantly, blow up the 2 on the button, get rid of that back red. Can't hit and roll out here. You can never tell by Rachel's line calls. They're just adamant one way or the other to start. Don't want to nut them all. It's actually a lot better, but as bad as that looks, Caitlin's probably going to have to hit that red one.
Yeah, you really would like to not, but the way those are, it's too easy to lose 2 of them, and then you leave the red one in, and all of a sudden you give up a deuce when you've been in the driver's seat this whole end. So as much as it doesn't feel like the call you want to make, I think it's the smart play.
I think you got to pay the price for the mistake on Selena sliding into the rings. And
yeah, it's a bit of a take your medicine kind of situation, because if you try to stay aggressive, that's when you'll give up a 2. This way, it should always still be a force. I guess it could turn into a blank with a couple of pistols, which I wouldn't rule out here, but it's going to take something pretty impressive from Team Homan, which they're more than capable of. And rolling that far is not what they wanted either. So this is going to give them a chance to come at these middle 2, and this could lead to a lot of yellows flying in the next few shots here. So the blank is not off the table.
yeah, the fact that one's buried and they don't think she can get it with her shooter here. But make a double, stay in the 4-foot, make another double. Might be too late to get out of this with a blank, but
because it's buried, it might be. I agree, but
needs to stay here though. I don't know. They don't seem to like that, but I'm not sure what we were going to do. It was better maybe roll in front of it, I guess.
Yeah, I think they wanted to stay in front of it, but I mean,
nose leaves triple.
Yeah, I don't think that's that bad, but they seem very upset about it because if you hit this on the nose, then all of them go, and that's about the only way you'll let Rachel get that one that's buried behind the corner guard is if you leave something in the middle here that she can hit and come off of over there.
I think I'd like to overroll your way.
They could even roll right into the one on the button. Like, this is a forced situation now, so.
In front of ours or like right
for
over.
Sure, and that's what Caitlin's saying. Even overroll Jocelyn's way.
I would think this would
big roll out the other side won't hurt you because it's essentially a forced play at this point.
See anything going too crazy?
Pretty hard to roll out broom side, so
true.
As long as you hit the red one, even if you did kill your other yellow, so what? It's just a forced situation now. There won't be a double, and then a couple of hit and stays, and Rachel should put 1 on the board. That's what I'm calling if I was betting. Live betting is coming.
The live betting.
And that's what I'd be betting right now if I could. I would get 0 money, though.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think your odds would be very favorable on that one, but.
Oh, blank's back. Oh, not quite. It's close, though.
Oh, it's close, yeah.
Kevin Martin would say the 90-degree angles, right?
Yeah, that's what he always says, yes.
Crazy, crazy thin to make the double, so I think that's probably the play. Or you hit and roll on the button one and roll behind the other one and then open up the 4-foot for the draw.
Yeah, which is like...
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one, yeah.
It just depends if you're giving up on the idea of blanking or not. If you're playing for 1, I think that's the play. And if you could make it good behind that and be shot and make her make the run back. Or the draw freeze or something, but looks like they're going to play the middle one.
He knows this, and Caitlin makes a good hit and roll. You're going to have to make a double for 1 instead of just an open hit or an open draw the 8-foot. So I like hitting the one on the button and rolling towards the side 8. And even if you don't only stay for second, even if you don't even stay for second, you're going to have to draw the 8-foot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now that I said Rachel's good at drawing, probably going to miss the draw against 3. And I'm going to lose my bet.
Your non-existent bet.
Yeah.
Your fictional bet.
That's right. Staying heavy. It looks like a light control, almost just a board weight.
Curl. Other way. Other way.
Sounds like a nose. So if Caitlin can make a good hit and roll right in front, Rachel's going to have to be very careful and make a double and not miss it and roll out, that's for sure. My chances, if you take a single now, the odds are, it pays better.
It pays better,
There is a chance for a steal now if Rachel can, or sorry, if Caitlin can make a hit and roll right to Selena's broom.
I'm hoping I was running just a hair straighter second rock in the path. But I think you can clean it out of the hand. Same speed.
The final rock of the first end for Team Laws. Caitlin with a hit and roll in front to put some pressure on Team Homan. Bit of a slow start for Team Homan. That's what they had against Team Ha. Team Ha made a pretty bad call to let Rachel off the hook in the first. Really should have scored 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was a 2 or 3 all the way. Instead of playing the chase, they played a draw that made Rachel throw a really hard freeze, but if she makes it, it all goes away, and she made it perfect.
I let her off the hook a little bit, so Rachel getting the shot she wanted, which is a hit on the button for 1.
Control.
I don't know how you're going to do this shot-by-shot betting. Who's going to do the odds that fast? Like, I'm not really good at that kind of stuff, so I'm not even sure how it works, but it seems complicated.
It seems like a lot of work to me too, but it exists in a lot of sports, so.
Your out turn? How do you turn in turn? The pick? Okay.
Just talking about the spot, and nobody takes less ice on these than Rachel's team.
No, it's good on a draw. It's like probably a rock or so, like a foot, and on a hit, it's still several inches less than most of the teams would take.
Curl.
This is not back to where the broom was quite yet. No problem though.
Yep.
Going to be a single for Team Homan. No harm, no foul after a slow start, and mission accomplished for Team Laws. It'll be 1-0 Team Homan when we come back for the second end right after a quick break.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you by Home Team Live. Brent Lang and Chelsea Carey bringing you the action tonight from Guelph inside the Sleeman Center. WFG Masters. It's cool to say the Masters, eh? I mean,
yeah. There's no green jackets involved. We only.
No, and we should have done something like that. Glenn Howard should have 6 green jackets, just like the Golden Bear.
I think no one would be happier in the world than Glenn to have 6
Yeah,
green
we should do it retroactive, because I'd like one too.
Yeah, there you go.
Go.
Starting with a center guard, and Caitlin, in general, when I've watched her skip, she's a little conservative. So I don't know if she's throwing a corner guard here or if she's going into the rings. Neither would surprise me. And when you're playing against the best in the world, when they're rolling like Team Homan is, you want to stay close as long as you can. No need to take any extra risks. As I say that, Caitlin is calling the corner guard here, so wonder if Rachel will throw the double center.
Okay, keep it sliding.
I doubt it, but I would love to see it.
Right? Up here, that's all we ever want.
Totally.
Hard. Keep going.
And the rotating door for Team Homan coach. Best team in the world, and they can't get a full-time coach. Jeff Stoughton on the bench today. No doubt in Stoughton.
The collective resume of their coaches would be read like an encyclopedia, though.
I assume she played the come around. I didn't see the call. I think she would have said if they wanted the high guard, but
Yeah, I think this is the come around.
Kristen Gordon's guard is average at best. It's not tight enough.
It's just, yeah, a bit too long.
A little too easy to chase around that, so kind of need the come around to be kind of top 12. And
Wait only.
a lot of teams are ignoring this one in the middle and going straight around. See if Caitlin does that. They're not.
They might if the guard was better.
Could be.
If it was me and the guard was there, I think, unless you're going to throw a second guard, I don't think it's that useful. So burying around it doesn't really help you. And then Rachel goes around the middle again and you're chasing. I think with the guard being as long as it is might be a factor in this choice.
You also have to be comfortable. Jocelyn has to be very confident in making contact on a run back too, because if you go around and they go around again and you start running and can't make contact in the house right away, it's going to be an end full of chases. Team Jacobs goes around the corner almost every time. Ben makes it, and Brett almost never misses the run back. It's not always absolutely perfect, but it always makes contact.
Yeah, as long as you make noise, and I was talking about this yesterday a little bit, is that I think that's the reason that more of the men's teams go straight around the corner than women's, because you better be really confident that somebody's making that run back. And if it gets missed once or twice, then all of a sudden you better be confident that somebody's going to make a run back double, because they're going to need to if you have a chance to score. And so it's just higher risk in the women's game, because the percentage of run backs that get made just isn't quite as high as the men.
Yeah, I think that's more than fair, Chelsea. And I think Caitlin threw the corner knowing Rachel was going to go around, and probably Caitlin figured, I want to be frozen on shot rather than go first and have them frozen on us top 4 foot. And
yeah, and you'd love to leave the freeze when you play that freeze for Caitlin. If you could ever leave that staggered a little bit out the corner guard side, then eventually you might be able to play a little like chip and roll, chisel and roll. And so instead of drawing behind the corner guard, the idea is that hopefully eventually you can roll behind it maybe.
Rachel talking about the stones. Had her rocks. I'm not sure who her is, because Sarah threw those. I don't think she calls her standing beside her.
Probably not.
So Jocelyn's still being asked for the runner, but it's a much more comfortable one because they got second shot locked in there pretty good. Could leave them one buried here. Just
nice shot, Joss.
Like that. Jocelyn just continues to roll. Maybe I'm taking that credit away from Brett.
Yeah, I was going to say when you were talking about the run back that if I was betting on anybody right now, it would probably be Joss. I called a few games at the mixed doubles trials, and I didn't see her miss very much of anything, no matter whether it was a draw or a hit or a run back or whatever. So coming in brimming with confidence, I would have to think.
I did say to Brett, and it hurt to say it, but I said, you know what, Brett? The best team doesn't always win, but unfortunately for us, at the trials they did.
That's a big compliment.
That's all I got for him.
I'm sure he appreciated it.
So another chance to freeze one on the corner. They don't love it. Tight and light. Emma with an early kind of struggle here.
Should be able to see it.
Is there a hole there? There is.
Yeah. Not a big one, but it's there.
Caitlin come through there and bump it to a freeze. You go around the corner guard. It's kind of an awkward situation for everybody.
It really is.
I think that's probably a good play, the out-turn draw, actually.
I think I like that better. The problem for Caitlin is if you go through the hole and you chip either guard, you're opening it up for Rachel.
Kind of like coming this way.
I think that makes, the in-turn draw is going to over-curl, so you have to bump it. Otherwise, you're just going to curl into a spot where it's going to leave a double. The out-turn, there's a little bit more room, but I still think I think it's possible to over-curl and leave a nose double through the hole, so.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I think this is one of the rare times where when you're throwing a draw, your tolerance isn't light, because to your point, you could come in and bump it a little bit and you'd be okay. You just don't want to over-curl, and if you are a little bit light, even if you get through that hole, you're probably always going to over-curl this.
Yep. Okay, room, wall, curl.
Oh, did they sweep this one onto the corner?
The outside guard here.
Okay, line's good. Lock it on. No bounce. No, can't.
Oh, just mismanaged a bit there.
14-8.
but pretty good.
Yeah, it's not a bad spot.
Little surprise Rachel's not running that center potentially.
Into the 2, you could get all the yellows. Yeah.
Get them all. I mean, you don't want to, you'd lose your center guard, but it's equally as hard as this almost.
It looks like Red's second shot right now. So in theory, if she makes this, they're sitting 2, but not an easy shot. Although this, like, of the 2 shots, this is more up Tracy's alley than the run double is.
True. That's what the scouting report says anyway.
Was involved with Team Fleury for a bit of time, and I would suggest that the scouting report is accurate in that sense, but that was a lot of weight. I don't know if that was the called weight or if it was just more than what they intended, but it was hard to stick when you throw it that hard.
I know it's hard to hear.
You know, if you get this one, that's fine. Their shot.
They are shot, okay. So yeah, that makes more sense then. But same shot here that Tracy just threw in.
Do you like a 10.5?
Pretty comfortable deuce, I would think. I don't love that Caitlin said it's okay to hit this one. You'd feather the red one, you come in and clip your yellow one. I would think you'd change your mind about that being okay.
Yeah, I don't know that either one of them is really okay, because if you hit the yellow one, it's pretty bad.
Some shots you just need to make. If you want huge tolerance, you got to play front end.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
It's too late in the end for that.
I'm not a genius, but I knew that.
Yeah, you had that one figured out.
Yeah.
Little roll, little roll.
Well done there, no mistake by Selena.
Crowd loves it when you go through a hole. From the side, that looks like it's not. What are they doing?
It looks like it's impossible, yeah.
Same thing.
Playing the chase through the hole again. Forced to go to the other turn now, obviously, with the rock being over on the other side here. But the other yellow is too buried for them to chase, so this is the only option for Tracy.
To me, this hole looks smaller this way, and I know that doesn't make any sense, but...
I agree with you, though. So maybe there's something somewhere in our subconscious that we've all missed it more times with the other turn or something, but I agree it looks smaller this way.
Tracy agrees.
Yeah.
Oh, he can't miss the both.
Oh.
That's impossible to do.
That's the Pat Simmons.
That's the P-spot right there.
Poor Pat. We just named the worst shot ever after him.
The problem is you can't, I never had that problem because when I missed by a lot.
Yeah, and sometimes, most of the time, that's better. The slight miss is usually a lot worse than the big time miss.
So same come around they saw earlier, and a huge opportunity for Team Laws, turning into a bit of a dream start. Again, I don't think it's bad to come in and tap that yellow on the nose.
I think you'd like to tap it a bit because the problem is you're leaving Rachel with the same shot. Like you could make an argument to throw a tight guard in that hole and take away the red run back, although she can come off her outside red, I guess. I just always hate leaving a team the same shot twice in a row.
Lost it a bit. We would have loved to keep that lined up to the button. It's really good, but yeah, you're right.
Pretty good.
Rachel can hit and roll.
She rolls in
at
behind
least
all
for
that.
second.
Yeah. Staying for shot is probably hard. To be buried and shot is probably not there.
Whew, freeze, eh? I don't think so.
That's gutsy.
The hit and roll looks terrible too, though.
I like it.
I could also do the exact same shot.
Oh, it's so perfect. You have to roll so perfect.
Well, so is this.
Goes the freeze, and the freeze brings 4 and 5 into play.
Yeah, you don't have to roll perfect, really, as long as you're, like, at this point, I think you're trying to hold them to 2. You don't have to roll perfect to do that. You just have to roll in behind the mess there. Even if you don't stay for shot, I think it's okay, isn't it?
If I miss it, it's
we won't have the freeze anymore.
Even if you nose it, like hit and stay, and Caitlin at least has to go through the hole and chase it.
Yeah.
And then it might set up a double. If Caitlin rolls, you might be able to throw that out turn double. And yeah, Rachel, Team Homan would pay anything to give up 2 here.
I get this to go, though. Like, I'm only ever getting one out. So it's the same. It's the same as hitting this one, right? You guys don't like this.
Trying to find a way to get 2, to give up 2. Even if you make the freeze, Chelsea, make it really good, right on the nose, frozen. Caitlin comes through and noses it. What's your next shot? You got to draw again.
Yeah, you're still dead. I don't think I'm ever throwing the freeze, personally.
If it's buried on the button and then there's a freeze, I'm in.
Different story, yeah. Even if this was dead buried so that you could come right to it and then the nose wasn't so easy, but they've made this hole look pretty easy a whole bunch of times in a row. So you make that, she comes through the hole and noses it, and now you're bringing 4 into play.
Trying to hit and roll right to Tracy's broom. That's a lot of ice for Rachel.
It is.
But Tracy's did curl, so.
I'm guessing it's probably quiet weight, but yeah, it does look like a lot of ice for Rachel.
Yeah, should run a little straighter second on the path. Straight through like hers, I think.
So straight through is their least set release of the 3.
They're like golfers, eh? They play draws, fades, they play them all.
Yeah.
I can hardly hit. I'm still looking for the straight ball.
In golf, I am too.
Well, in curling, I am too.
I have a better, me too, but I have a better chance of curling than I do at golf.
Big spin at the end. Yeah, a little unlucky.
Still not bad, though.
Not bad at all. At least going to make Caitlin make something.
Yeah.
People often say at the golf course, oh, you're used to pressure. I'm like, yeah, that's something that I'm actually good at, though. So pressure in golf, it's the Crumbleville.
I'm with you. People say that to me, too. You're Skip, you played under more pressure than this. I'm like, yeah, but I'm
Not
decent
the
at
same.
curling. I'm not good at golf.
Burn with you.
Pressure ramps up. I just got to order a couple more triple bogeys, and that's how I deal with it.
I think so. It's a tight hole either way, but.
Intern hard?
We can roll a hair.
Yeah, I think so. That looks to me like the more natural way to play this. But I do think you can throw some weight at it. I mean, this probably is the same ice for either turn, but...
She's actually throwing the out.
And she is throwing the out, yeah. And I don't know why that hole looks harder to me that way, but I still think it does. You can make it with either turn. It doesn't really change anything, so it's just personal preference, what looks better to your eye.
Clean. Whoa. Yeah, well, hard!
Sounds pretty good. Everything's coming up laws, I think, if that's stopped. Every little break has gone their way so far.
So far it has. It looks from the overhead like it did just stop in time.
Rachel's body language pretty much always tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it's true. Doesn't show much emotion in her face, but her body tells you a story.
I don't even see a good draw. Like, it's just going to end up in the same hole.
Yeah, right. I think the only way you'd ever consider throwing that draw is if you thought it would curl enough past the red guard to end up buried around those 2 yellows. And I know they scratched the rocks last night, but I still don't think it's going to curl that hard.
And then Caitlin would just hit the one she can see half of. You'd be behind it anyway for 3. But trying to hit and roll, I guess she could roll in for second shot here, but...
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying, but obviously objective number 1 is to lose that back yellow rock.
Curl.
Yeah, not really much chance to do anything good there. So big end for Team Laws and a great first 2 ends. Free draw, or is the hit easier?
That didn't seem to do too much.
She's saying the hit's easier because she doesn't want to go so wide.
Yeah, it would be a brand new path for the draw. If this was later in the game and you'd seen some really wide ones, you might consider throwing it. You could try to draw through, but everything else is through a hole is the only problem.
They played this one a couple of times.
Yeah, they did.
Just checking out my new toy here.
Navigate that port.
Yeah, Joss made that one perfect, so you'd think they'd have a good idea at that. But this is
that ice for 10-5?
A wide open hit, so... Again, a preference thing more than like I would suggest that Caitlin probably would like to throw a draw. None of them look terribly appealing, so this maybe makes the most sense.
Yeah, and over the last 15 years, I would say, I think, how old is Caitlin now? You don't talk about age on TV, especially mine, but she's been as good a line player as there's been in the female game. Obviously, I watched her a ton playing third for Team Jones and never really had trouble sliding on line.
Easier, really. Clean.
Uh-oh.
Curl!
No problem. 3 on the board for Team Laws. Some Yellow Rocks heading into the corner with some pace. Love to see it. We'll be back 3-1 Team Laws over Team Homan. Back for third end action right after this.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Welcome back inside the Sleeman Center. We've got a 3-1 lead in our feature game. Team Laws off to a hot start and really had Team Homan in trouble almost from the third rock of the game and on. Team Homan has not really been able to apply any pressure yet to Team Laws, and as a result, they find themselves down 2 with the hammer in the third end.
Okay.
And coming into the game, I would have said, Chelsea, there's not a ton of pressure on Team Laws. It's like, well, nobody beats these ladies, so we go out there and just play our best and see where we end up. The problem with that is once you get a lead, that changes. Now it's like, we should probably win this game now. We're up 2 playing the third. You know, if there was live betting, probably be down to even odds now.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you obviously always want to be winning, especially against a really good team, but if you got to choose when you started winning, it's probably not this early.
Right in the last ends when I want to start leading.
Yeah, like after get that 3 and 6, and then have to just kind of finish it out. But yeah, the pressure just switches, and it's one of those things that you talk about when we were playing, say, a younger team that didn't have as much experience and stuff, and we would start out a little slow, and they would be playing really well, and we'd get down, and you would just say, just be patient. Like their collars are tightening, and it's going to get harder for them. Now with Team Laws, I think they have too much experience for that to be true. But it is just kind of what happens when you're playing a team that is 40-2 on the season, and all of a sudden you're in a position where it's too early to say you feel like you should beat them, but you've put yourself in a really good spot early, and then now maintaining it sometimes can be harder than making it happen in the first place.
It's absolutely true. You know, being the underdog is great until you actually think you can win. That changes everything.
Yeah.
Don't forget that Team Homan chose to play Team Laws. I mean, they had to choose good teams. It was inevitable. It's the Grand Slams. But looking at the list here, this was Team Homan picked off first. And then the snake draft came back around to them. And 8th overall pick was Team Laws. So, and then they took Rana after that. And their final
16-6
pick with a crossover was Rachel saying, "Hey, Carrie, you want to play?"
Yeah.
I can promise you, nobody wants to see the pools and see Homan in there in your group.
No, same as Mowat on the men's side.
At the moment, no, you don't.
That's the team you don't want.
Like this call. Don't see this a ton playing out wide, but the ice this week, there hasn't been a ton of frost. Yesterday, there was so little frost that it was too straight and too fast.
Come, girl.
Where that guard is, it's kind of tough to go around the corner guard and leave it buried.
Girl.
Yeah, wide cheats here at the Slams too gives you the opportunity to throw this.
Girl.
I think this will always curl
Keep
enough.
Keep going.
The
Keep
weight's
going.
good. This should really finish.
It's
going to overdo it.
Out the other side. Oh no, I think it's
perfect.
Perfect. But you'd always rather show a little bit on the outside. Like, I think that's probably dead buried, and I would almost rather show a piece on the outside because it's a bit of a harder chase.
I don't think you can chase that, really.
And
it's
not as good a result because you're not rolling to the center line, which is what you see Caitlin now trying to look at to see if she can chase it with the out turn.
Yeah, and if you ever just feather rub, that's not bad.
I think even if you just play like a back line, don't even kill it and just poke it in the open, come through here, poke this one in the open. Look, that's how it curls, just like that line. And roll in here somewhere, and this one just goes out in the open at least.
Yes. As long as you sit 2 after it, I think it's a pretty good shot. If you open that rock up and stay to sit 2, it's pretty good. As long as the key here is getting the weight right. She called hack. You don't want to be heavy because if you ever happen to chunk more of that guard, you don't want to push it out. So got to get the weight right here. But again, Jocelyn coming in with more reps and practice than anybody and doing it very well from those doubles trials. So I think she'll be close.
Playing right through New Year's Eve. That's commitment.
Girl.
This is a shot where, like you said, you got to get the weight and the line right, just like that. And this is where, as a second, you're like, I'm playing front end for a reason. This is a backhand shot.
Yeah.
Great shot. Doesn't get it out, but does kill it. The only other option they had there really was to play the out turn, come around to the button, and then Rachel's going to hit and roll on the top, and it's not a comfortable situation. So
yeah, that rock buried around that guard is just one of those things. I know Glenn Howard coached us this year, and that nothing. He was so happy when we did it, and so nervous when the other team did it, that he wanted us to do it all the time because he's like, man, that just makes you so nervous because the whole end, their second point is there, and it can turn into a third point pretty quickly if you don't get stuff going right in the middle. So I think I like that call because the result of it is so much better. And if you did tick the guard, it's a similar result in that at least you can chase that rock in the house.
Totally agree. If you leave it there, once they put it there, if you leave it there the next shot, it's probably going to be there all end.
Yes, exactly. And then that's when it gets scary. And the whole end in the back of your mind, you're going, geez, that's already there. And if I miss this, now it's a 3.
Good shot there. Emma hits and rolls under the center, and it's still a good situation here for, even if she didn't make that, nothing even in the 8-foot. A couple of guards, even that top 12 one could be turned into a guard by Rachel if she wants to later in the end, and it's kind of half buried, so I would suggest that hitting the yellow one's easier here than hitting this red, but they looked at both, and Jocelyn said, I can make anything, so just pick one. Uh-oh. Selena's got to go on this one.
Oh, it's close.
Oh, and this is the back one too.
Oh, yeah.
Buries their yellow one at least. Opens up the red one, so.
Hit any more of that guard, you'd get that red one, but that's like a nearly impossible line call to make because you're talking probably not even a millimeter difference in how much of that guard that you hit. So a little unlucky there, so close to getting it by and then doesn't get the one on the way by. But like you said, the only good news for Team Laws here is that it does move that guard to a place where Rachel can't really chase that yellow even if she wanted to because it's always just going to jam on the red.
It's going open side here.
If you like this, I'm okay with
I think that's the call. Open side, and then Caitlin's going to nose this red one. I guess that wouldn't be bad, though. Then you can hit and roll back behind the corner guard and maybe even set up a double into that top one. So they have gone back to the in-turn draw bump. Emma trying to get a little bit low on the red and bump it a foot so there's no double.
This might be to do with the biter. If you didn't have the biter there, I'd be more hesitant to throw this because then it gives Caitlin a chance to run that yellow, like slash that yellow in with what little she can see. I think you'd still be able to make it, but that call is so much riskier with that red over on the side that I think that maybe gives you a little bit more leeway to throw this shot.
This is really good if this didn't quite get by. Again, a little bit, like so close and just no breaks for Team Homan just yet.
Yeah, and rolled to about the worst place you could. Leaves
the
possibility to make the double and roll behind the guard even.
Okay, we gotta be just a hair high. Firm. Yep. Hard. Gotta go. Hard. Well.
Ooh, that's no good.
That couldn't have worked out a whole lot worse either. Both teams just wrong side of the inch in this end so far.
Well, you were coached by Glenn Howard. Is that where you got that one?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I know. Wrong side of the inch.
Wrong side of the inch goes back to probably my dad. So
probably. That's
that whole
same era.
Generation, yeah.
We could do that.
Hit and roll under. Is there enough room to poke that yellow one out? Like, is it close?
Like that weight? Sure.
Maybe, yeah.
Team Law is going to have to be very careful here as long as they hit and stay.
Hard. Okay.
Again, they don't seem very happy, but not exactly what they were doing.
I think they were trying to do what you were thinking,
Okay,
where they were hoping it would kick it a little bit rather than leave it
They hit it in the right
staggered.
spot to do that. It just is a couple hundred feet light. I don't think it turned out to be there. Like, that's barely touching it where it rolled now.
That's what I was thinking, that the only way you could make it would be to throw a bullet.
If that's the case, then maybe the nose was better.
Yeah, because I don't think the hook there is great. So that's, I think, why Rachel's upset. But I think they hit it where they wanted to. It just wasn't there with that weight.
Hard, 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 hard. You gotta go. Hard. Hard. Good sweep.
Just stayed.
For shot. I think you're hitting it anyway, or you could draw if you're shot, I guess.
Are they shot? Yeah.
Answers that question.
You guys like this? Okay. High 14, high 14.
A little bit riskier to throw this one. You know they're shot, but if you make it, it's that much better a result too. So comfortable to take a chance here, especially given the scoreboard and you got one of the best drawers in the world throwing this. So I think worth taking the risk on this one.
Line's good. Line's
Did
good.
they talk about just bumping it a little or just playing a straight freeze?
They didn't really say. They talked about hitting it and drawing to it, and they landed on the draw. But
Whoa, stop.
stop. Rachel's the only one that says stop. Gonna lie two here, so that might have been the easiest way to lie two.
That does the trick anyways.
Or we play firm and try the roll, make the double. Okay. Good with that. Right there. We know it's fine, but we'll try and roll the center.
Conservative hit and roll to the middle.
Yeah, I can't afford to jam it, but once you know you're not, then try to roll. She's probably throwing this fairly hard, I would think.
Firm, try and roll
Said
the center.
firm, and for her to jam that with firm, I mean, she's gonna have to hit like
You'd
a
have
quarter.
to almost flash it, yeah.
Married.
It would be nice even if she doesn't roll all the way to kill that yellow one, so she might have it on the next one, but unfortunately it would give Rachel a chance to roll under that stagger, and then she wouldn't be able to take anything out on her next one if you're Caitlin. So I'm not super unhappy if I'm her if I nose this. Then Rachel's the
roll
same.
is longer, at least if she's going to play it, or else she just noses it.
And if she makes it, it might jam too, so, and then you'd be second at least.
No.
When you could even throw a freeze at that point if you wanted to. Again, a little bit scary, but...
Girl.
There you go, right on the nose.
So Rachel going to do the same thing, I would think, and try and make that double and roll to the top of the button.
I think so. Just easy peel.
How many peel weights do you have, Chelsea?
I have easy and peel, and then there's an extra
So hard we
one.
shouldn't be playing this shot?
Yeah.
We're really dead, so I'm just going to whip it?
Yeah, I've only thrown that one.
Stayed right where she let go.
I'm not going to say a few times in my life, but I go through most spiels without throwing it. It's a desperation kind of weight for sure.
Think straight through.
Chance to set up the three right back here, though. It really puts some pressure on Caitlin. If you roll this barrier, she'll have to throw a really precise freeze.
Yeah. Whoa.
When if you don't make the double, then Caitlin could play a chase on the middle yellow. I think she can see enough of it. But if you make this double, I don't think you can afford to play that, because then you bring 4 into play. I think that might have moved it just far enough.
It did. They
Didn't
finally
roll
caught a
far
break,
enough, though.
but left it to a disastrous place where this is a really comfortable roll.
Yeah, the problem with
Kinda
those
feel
rolls is that,
like
again,
board.
if you're going to miss it, you want to miss it by a lot.
I don't think it'll
If you
go.
miss it by just a little bit, you make it easier on Caitlin. You give her an easier roll than she would have had if you hit that on the nose. So bit of a tough break, but really important shot here for Caitlin. If she makes this, all of a sudden it turns into a force, maybe even a steal. And if she doesn't, it's pretty much a gimme deuce.
Roll the center.
This is one where you can really solidify the momentum. By hitting and rolling buried here, it's really going to take the wind out of Team Homan's sails.
Well, especially because they were so frustrated by leaving those 2 rocks hooked and then that comes back to bite them. Like things like that just start to compound in your head if you're the team that's on the wrong side of them all the time.
Probably just a board weight. Bring the
that's
weight
what
down.
I'm guessing. Yeah, 10.5, 11. I would estimate.
I don't think it's going to take off. So if you hear whoa, I don't think that's going to be great.
Close. Curl.
And she set that a little bit out of hand, which is normal for her, but the spot seems to not be very forgiving if you do that.
Didn't really give that one a chance. I wanted to hear hard on that one most of the way
Yeah,
to make it.
yeah. I think that's the only way. Even with the rocks being scratched, I watched the game and called a game on the sheet yesterday, and that spot was very, very straight. They missed on the high side a lot there. So just that little set, and it never. Okay, they were saying close, but they were expecting it to finish, and it won't if you
I mean,
if you
she's
do
probably
that.
hitting half the rock. I'm gonna keep it there. It's probably minimum ice. Just a hair more. Thanks. Yeah.
The old open nose hit, and just put the broom in the middle of the
You
rock.
just carved it the whole way, so just clean it.
She said, I'm going to keep it there, so that's a
This will
different
have it.
release than the one she threw before. That's slightly more positive. That's the middle of their 3, if I'm not mistaken.
She does. She threw a chip shot against us at the trials that she threw, I would say, like a dozen rotations on. It was off center and really wanted to make sure action on the shooter made it like it was a joke.
Not quite the Adine, but close.
No, not quite. But there's a deuce on the board, and we've got a tie game here. Team Laws will have the hammer in the 4th end, tied 3-3 in the All-Canadian battle. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Easy with that broom.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Welcome back to the WFG Masters. Brent Lang joined by Chelsea Carey, and we've got a all-Canadian battle here in our feature game, 3-3 playing the 4th end. The other games, just to get you updated, Team Ha up 2-0 on Team Rana. They're still in the 3rd end. Somebody's got to have some time trouble over there.
No.
A couple of shots left still, too. Team Anderson up 1-0 on Team Tabata playing the 4th end. So a defensive battle there, and coming off a blank end for Team Tabata. This week, for those who are just joining, you cannot blank back-to-back ends. If you do, you lose the hammer. So doesn't look like a blank. Couple guards in play, and Tabata lying 1 and shooting. And then looks like we're waiting for an update here. Team Skurlik versus Team Fujisawa, and there it is, 3-1 for Team Fujisawa after 3 ends. Team Skurlik will have the hammer in the 4th. So
Needs to move if you
we've got 4 good games
has
again.
to curl a bit.
But we're giving the Canadians what they want, all Canadian content. We don't get very many opportunities to do that, as
curl.
we talked about yesterday, Chelsea.
It used to be the standard, and now it's a rare occurrence. So happy to be bringing you the battle of the Canadian teams here.
As Canadians, we're not afraid to mandate Canadian content, aka
No.
CBC, CFL. I don't know if
the radio content thing.
If we have to. I don't think it will get to that, but you never know.
You never know.
Hopefully the world takes over this sport anyway. Canada, we've had our chance, and we've got a lot of fans and done a reasonable job with it, but I would love to see Canada continue to grow but not be the most popular curling country in the world anymore in terms of fans. Maybe Japan, the United States became, if they had 1 million or 2 million curlers, I think we'd see some really cool changes in the game. And curling group's going to give it a go. I know that.
Yeah, the States is a huge growth opportunity for the sport, I think. And you see some momentum around the Olympics. And, of course, John Schuster's gold medal did a lot for curling in the U.S., which is great. But definitely still some opportunity to grow there. And I know they love it in Japan. We played in an event a few years ago in Karizawa, and we had an 8 a.m. game, I think. And so we got to the rink around 6:30 to have breakfast and do our pregame, and the people were already lined up to get in. They started lining up. We walked in, and there was all these people, and we were sort of going, what's going on? And we were told that they started lining up at 5 a.m. for our game because there's not a lot of seats in there, and every game was on TV. We had to wear mics for all the games. They were broadcasting it on Japanese TV, and it's just, they do love it there, which is such a cool thing to see. When you just, growing up, I never would have expected that. A, that I would get to go to Japan, and B, that they would be so excited about curling.
And that's why we don't do any of the Fujisawa games or any of the Japanese games, is because they've bought the feed and don't want our annoying voices on there. They've got their own commentary, and they're streaming it. Every one of them. The Japanese media are here to cover the games. It's it's pretty cool to see. One of the coolest countries in the world. Karizawa, you talk about, is 98 Olympics. We were fortunate to go there and play in the Karizawa Spiel, and one of the coolest places on earth that I've been.
Me too. One of my all-time favorite places that I've gotten to go.
I know Jen has been there a few times, and super special place to her as well. And
what turn do you like?
Tsunami there, the third for Team Fujisawa, is an absolute rock star in Japan, I hear.
Yeah, she's in Toyota commercials and everything. She's a
Why
huge
not,
deal.
right?
She's big in Japan.
Very similar start. This is kind of deja vu, but this time Homan got Emma to get the freeze right on the nose. So the run back for Jocelyn is harder to lie one buried this time, but very similar start. Front end's doing their job. Any kind of contact on this one in there will leave yellow shot. So even if you kind of over curl and roll for another corner would be pretty nice.
It's a make noise on the back and hopefully roll your shooter situation.
It's good.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Tough to hit that yellow one.
Yeah, if you run your red onto it, which looks like the easiest way to get to it, you're going to for sure lose your shooter and probably spill the run rock quite a bit. It's pretty thin to make that.
Or do you think you can hit that?
That looks really hard.
I agree, and the miss isn't, well, I guess if you miss by ticking the guard, it's not terrible, but
like 11?
if you ever hit your own, it's not good.
Oh, wow, look at from that angle. I'd be saying find something easier.
Again, not a front-end shot. Luckily,
no.
Emma has not been a front-end player until very recently, so she's used to having to throw the harder ones.
It's the advantage of having a third playing second, I guess.
Exactly.
This is possible, but
it's definitely there. It's just really not nice to look at.
And you have to play a weight that if you tick the red, you won't kill the yellow. Most likely, unless you just feather tick it. So
yeah,
Emma's going to make this look easy.
Yeah, just because we just said how hard it is, she will.
She didn't really finish that. That wasn't a straight through or hold it there. That was
really got to go for the guard.
A bit of a duck hook.
Thinner the better. Good sweep.
Yeah, that was not her best throw. And that's going to stay in the rings.
Yeah, it is too.
Ooh, 2 corner guards lying first and fourth. I don't like this if I'm Team Homan.
No, it's not good to be red right now.
Kind of like this.
Feeling fancy, like if you, here's
there.
The best shot. Hit this, roll in behind here, and chisel this one back here. Whoa, what did I do there?
Do you like this one better?
The screen color changed, but it's super difficult, so I might consider just nosing this one.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I'm trying to set up the deuce.
This rock is the rock that I like the least. This one that she's about to hit, so I'm always tempted to want to remove that somehow and do something, because if you hit that on the nose, you make her make this hit and roll, but if she throws a sort of a board weight, she could roll both of them behind the guard, which is still a corner guard and it's not the end of the world, but it would be a big momentum changer.
Oh, that's not good. They seem to like that one out of her hand and most of the way, staying clean and just not hitting the curl. I don't know if that was heavy, but
yeah, and if you hit it a little thinner, it would have been okay too, because you would have clipped onto your own yellow and they both would have stayed. So just a little bit in between on the line call there.
She's human.
It turns out she's human. She didn't show you that at the trials, though.
Wow, we didn't lose to them. We couldn't get to them. They were in the undefeated event. We were in the grinder event. We were in C early.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Curl.
So still not a lot of pressure on Team Laws here, but I think you're hitting the wrong one here for sure. Well, I guess you could roll behind the corner.
If you're roll buried, I think
sure.
it's probably okay.
So hit and roll here, make it buried, and because Rachel probably has to draw in there, and that'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. If the guards weren't there, if you couldn't roll this buried as easily as she can, then I would always be hitting the higher one of the two in the house. But given those guards being not terribly far away from this, I think this is a shot, and it would. I mean, I don't know what else you do besides draw if you're Rachel if she makes this. So big opportunity here for Selena Negvin.
Selena also married a curler, Connor Negvin, obviously, and he's coaching this team and has for the past couple of years.
Yeah, the sheet is full of curlers married to curlers,
Right?
actually.
Keep going hard, anything. That's sweet.
White. So now Rachel can hit and roll behind that corner, and really kind of the force will be really on. Both Connor and his skip Reed Carruthers used to do double duty at these slams.
When they were playing in them, yeah.
Now they're just coaching. Reed out there coaching Team Anderson.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Really hard. Really gotta go.
This one's making a move towards
boy,
that
she's
guard.
gonna go to get it by.
Yeah, that did take off. I agree. Does it stay for second?
Ooh,
Another
don't
break
think
for
so.
Team just far enough, I think. And Rachel might break a broom soon. Just change the momentum.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I've never seen her actually do that, but
She didn't seem like, I think she didn't mind the throw. They weren't worried about it early. They just were surprised by how much that moved.
especially after Selena's just kind of struggled to curl down there.
Yeah.
Hit and roll anywhere broom side here, and Rachel's gonna have to do something special to get out of this. Gonna have to make a roll behind those guards at some point for shot rock. Good look.
Yep.
You see that little set back to the broom, but maybe not enough. Oh boy.
This is curling too.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Good.
Okay. At least the double rolls out and you can go around the corner.
Yeah, it's not bad.
For Rachel, you might want to try and nose hit the other one, actually.
I think that is the call.
But then Caitlin just makes a good hit and roll, and it's a deuce
I
anyway.
think I would try and touch it.
You might have a double, though, if she makes a hit and roll, depending how far she rolls.
Try and touch it with Peel.
I don't think I'd want to let her...
Playing the slip double.
Nose is fine. It's tough to...
This is gutsy, but it's very Rachel, and I bet she'll be close. It wouldn't surprise me at all if she made this.
I definitely don't think she'll miss them both.
No, no.
Just feather it out sideways, kill the other one, and then spin straight across buried top 8.
Well, I could nose it.
Well, and if you go by it and you nose it, I don't think it's the end of the world anyway.
Oh,
so
it's good.
I don't mind the call as long as you play it conservatively. And with the amount of rotation that Rachel throws, if you touch that at all, the yellows are flying.
Yeah. Straight through.
She makes the double. The chance of her shooter staying is quite low, and then free come around for Caitlin. But
No, curl.
in a perfect world, you'd spin the shooter behind the guards,
right,
which is
just
possible.
straight sideways, but
I don't think that's going to get there.
whoa, that's a pretty big miss for Rachel.
Probably worst case scenario, because if the yellow is shot like we think it is, then now you bring in,
Okay.
you're going to force Rachel to hit the open one and give you a gimme deuce, I think, aren't you?
Wouldn't draw either way.
I think you're drawing no matter what.
I
aren't you?
would draw either way, yeah.
I guess if you're shot, you could kind of draw away from the guard.
You could, yeah.
But the easiest thing is just to make a good draw top 8 foot.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't, if they're,
So
It really
we
looks like
nose
yellow,
and
but
It does, but maybe
the roll would
they
try
know
the
better than
roll
we
open.
do
Okay.
in theory, but on the overhead it looks like it's yellow quite clearly.
here we can find out which line's longer.
Yeah, that was
Can you measure those somehow?
Yeah.
No.
And they were both perfectly centered on the
well,
button
obviously.
too. Good job.
because even
Freehand.
if you blank this one, it's not the end of the world. So
Blank's not the end of the world, but I'm not a
thinking
fan
to
of
throw
this.
firm out here and just take
Yeah,
the
I don't.
curl out of it.
I would be throwing the draw if it was me.
Yeah.
If you throw the draw and it's close between those two, and I'm Rachel, I'm hitting the open one. So,
Yeah, probably. And
like,
the
you don't
problem
think
with this
Then
shot
do
is if
like
you
just
make it.
drawing, or this still keeps the blank in play.
Yeah.
Okay, we're trying to roll the center.
If you roll this behind the guard, you're going to be behind the tee line.
Firm?
Yeah,
Rachel's
and then
going to
she
draw
probably
and force
freezes.
you.
Yeah,
We know.
I don't like
Yeah,
this.
nose is fine.
Nose, and then Rachel has a chance to hit and roll behind the corner guards and force you. You make an average draw.
It doesn't, like, it can be anywhere from top 12 foot to just above the tee line and be fine. Caitlin's too good not to be close on that.
Best roll here is probably all the way to the center line.
I think so too.
Back 8 or
But
back
then why
12.
not draw there?
Please.
Like, that's a way harder shot. To
Oh,
roll it there's a
curl.
way harder shot than to just draw there.
Curl. Curl.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's rolling out.
I just
Oh,
hold.
she got it there.
So now a chance for Rachel to hit and roll buried. They're definitely line 2 now.
Yeah, at least they took the doubt away from that. That's good. Helping us out up here.
See what you think from the hack.
That one obviously curled a little because Caitlin sounded concerned as if it wasn't going to. So
Yeah, and it looked to me halfway down like it was not going to get quite to the nose, and it seemed like it finished up a little bit at the end. So maybe a little bit of fresh pebble out that wide, though, too. This one might not do that. Plus, Rachel's outturn and Caitlin's outturn are two pretty different throws.
There. It still came back.
is this John Cullen back here? Where's Waldo? Wasn't he playing that game on social media yesterday? That could be him.
It could be. I just like that we're using the telestrator to point out people in the crowd.
I'm using it for everything.
Hard then. Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa. Stop.
I love
Curl.
it.
Hard him. Hard.
Nice shot.
F-bomb.
What I like about the stop, and I the only time I've ever done it, I think, was when we were
How much do you
sweeping with
have?
carve, and we were like in the first original broom gate. And so we'd be carving it, and then we would be overdoing it, and I'd say, stop, stop, stop.
True.
But other than that, I don't think I have. But what I like about it is that no one else is saying it. So if you're in a loud curling club or other sheets are yelling, you'll know that it's your team saying it because no one else says that. So
It doesn't sound like anything else either. and-
No, exactly. It's a very distinctive word, and no one else is using it. Okay, so Caitlin thinking she can't chase that.
This has to. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't play that. Yeah, I'd probably play that chase because I'm on tilt
Think
now
it's
after we
chaseable?
made a bad call.
Yeah, I think I probably would too. It's maybe not the smart call, but I think I would be so frustrated that I would. But
it's chaseable?
when you call the shot that
Scoring here is
Caitlin called,
huge.
you almost can't because you sort of took that risk by doing that, right?
It's definitely
would have
chaseable.
to-
It's there for sure.
The good news
I
is
don't have a ton of time.
Caitlin knows the
I have a
spot
third.
reasonably well.
A
They just
third.
threw a hit out there, so
Play hack at it.
I
think
would.
speed's okay out here.
Yeah, as long
Are
as
you
the
okay with that or no?
Honestly, I think the run is easier than the chase.
Okay.
The run. Wouldn't play that.
That's called
The other
timeout.
turn too.
That's called time.
Connor going to come out with the voice of reason.
I don't want to use too much
Yeah,
time here.
I think the chase is easier than the run.
Got to be, especially for
I just want to
one.
make sure we score. Like, that's the main thing, right? I'm a third. No, I'd want to play hack at it.
Speak up, Connor. Come on, get in there.
We got to get a mic on the coaches somehow.
Yeah. Okay. Do you ever play the run? Okay. I think you can play, like, good hack. I don't think we can throw board, but...
Finish after the guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this done?
Another good timeout. I think the two best timeouts I've heard this year were both Connor.
Yeah, I really like that. I like the conversation around, unless we can throw this weight, I don't like it. And then Caitlin saying, well, I think we can throw that weight. And then the discussion. And I like Selena too saying, if you're seeing it, then I like it. That's big. Like, you got to give her, if she's seeing it, let her throw it.
Yeah. Like,
and then the conversation around, okay, how do we make it? So not just that this is the call, but what do we do? What do we know about the ice here? What's it going to do? Is it going to hold early and curl late? Are we going to have to carve it past the guard? And yeah, very, very good timeout.
Best thing he said was when they said, do we ever play the run? Nope.
Yeah, I agree. Because
want to talk about anything else?
Yeah, I could
I'm
not.
happy to, but not that one.
I would. It would almost be like lay down on the ice kind of thing rather than throw the run. I think you draw for one at that point. But I like this. I think this is there. And the only reason to me not to play this is sometimes at these events and arenas we see a frost out here wide, or you haven't thrown it, you don't know. But with this seemingly running well out here, it's a pretty makeable shot, but this needs to curl a lot.
She floated this and overthrew it. This isn't even close. That's just too much weight and a big set, and unforced error and momentum swing at the halfway point. Team Homan with a surprise steal of one, and they'll take a 4-3 lead into our 2.5-minute fourth end break. We'll be back with more action right after this.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on,
every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
pushing limits,
seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Welcome back to what's been an exciting game. A few great shots, some misses, and a big momentum turn there, Chelsea, with Team Homan stealing a point when really Team Laws looked like it was going to be a simple deuce to the whole end, and that's why you got to throw all the stones to see what happens. And it's a 4-3 lead now for Team Homan. What are your thoughts on the first half, Chelsea?
Yeah, I think momentum was basically all Laws until, I mean, I guess maybe a little bit of a shift in the third end with a hit and roll opportunity that Caitlin had, but even giving up a deuce there, you're pretty happy, tied with the Hammer playing 4, but then I didn't mind the call on her last one. My question is with the call on her first one. I think you draw around that corner guard, and she mentioned keep the blank alive, but I wouldn't be worried about the blank there if I was her. If you score 1 and 4, I don't think you're that unhappy with that. So why not try? It's the old Russ Howard. If you're going to be forced to 2. So loop it, and they might have been shot rock. That's the craziest part on the side. So just draw around there and get your deuce that way, and maybe win a measure for a 3rd point potentially. So not sure about that call, but attempt for the deuce on the last one I wasn't against. I think that was the call, but looks like they got a little bit fooled, a little bit of a set there from Caitlin, I think, which normally she does, but it's just seems like it's unforgiving if you do that out here this week, that it'll run on you. So definitely a big momentum shift, and this I think is going to be the key end for Team Laws in this game. It needs to be a bit of a bounce back. Not that you're unhappy being 1 down with the hammer in 5. I think before the game, if you said that, they would have been happy with it, but just the way it happened can be a little bit of a mental block. So going to be interesting to see how they respond to that here.
The reverse is also true. Homan's got to feel like they're living on borrowed time a bit and free rolling as they caught a huge break there and haven't played their best.
No, but you know what? That's the thing, and I've seen it happen to Rachel a few times this year, including being the victim of it, a victim of myself mostly, ourselves mostly, when we had a bit of a lead and could have easily beat her in a slam and ended up not doing that. And when you're rolling like they are, that's just the kind of stuff that happens for you. It's a bit of the rich get richer kind of a situation. Winning breeds winning, and they've gotten some. I mean, they've played incredible. Don't get me wrong, and they've earned 95% of the wins that they've gotten. But you have to get some breaks to be on the kind of streak that they're on, and so you are seeing that happen. And certainly that was a break right there. And we talked early in the first half of them not getting breaks, and they just got handed a huge one from Caitlin Ross.
I think the key to a really successful team is finding a way to win without your A game. Everybody out here's best game is hard to beat. Can you win? Can you raise your kind of the floor rather than increase your ceiling? Your ceiling out here, everybody can play 95% as a team, but can you raise your B game, your worst game, up to mid-80s and find a way to win? And that's what the best teams do. And there's a good, nice pair there by Kristen Gordon. Another uncharacteristic mistake there. Sarah Wilkes top 8 when she could have froze right on the button. And now here we are again, Team Homan chasing. And don't want to have to run back your own center guard, but you don't really have a choice. Don't want to double these reds and roll for a corner.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad.
Very easy to do if you throw it close, though.
Again, if you're going to miss, you want to miss by more than that. Oh, Rachel doesn't like it out of the hand.
Sounds like a half rocker.
Looks like a peel.
Doesn't feel right to throw a center guard, as you can see Caitlin smiling. That's why she's smiling, but eventually they're going to play a corner freeze with that in-turn draw, and you could go open side here. You could do that too, hit and roll to the wing, sure. I might throw one center guard and say, okay, if you're going to make it, we're going to have time to move stuff around and really set up a big end.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. I think I would throw one, at least one.
This isn't exactly like a gimme shot either.
No, and I think if I was going to not throw the guard, I like open side better than this. I think this red rock is kind of helping you right now, so I would be hesitant to move it this early in the end.
Really gotta go. Really gotta go on this. I don't think we're killing it.
Not good.
Oh dear.
Go, 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 go. Get it out, get it out.
Look where that went to, though, Chelsea. How's the double look now? It looks like it goes right on.
It does.
It
does.
Really close.
It's true.
Just trying to nose it. Rachel knows that goes too close to it. And
I threw this one.
I think the nose might be the call even if it wasn't there, honestly. I don't know if you would blast it anyways, but yeah, it did roll to a place where it's always going to jam on that red, I think. This turned from an opportunity for multiple points to potentially a force pretty quickly here.
this is made really well. Like, stays on it on the top of the button. Pretty good. Like, what do you do with that? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This was my first thought too. I'm not sure that that there's much good you can do with it, and I think the only good thing potentially is to perfectly unlock it and stay on the exact right angle. But most of the time, if you try that, you're going to leave Rachel something to kill both yellows. So just leave them spread out for right now.
Rachel's just going to keep hitting this open one, I would think, if you hit and stay here. Oh, this is hooked. This had to be hooked to get curling. This is hardly going to touch it.
Oh boy, I don't think it's going to touch it at all.
Oof. Remember all those breaks that were going Team Law's way?
Yeah, and this, it's so funny because momentum is a thing we all talk about, but it's impossible to quantify. But you're watching it happen here right now in this moment. It's just, it was all Team Laws early, and now all of a sudden it's all Team Homan after that steal.
Yep.
No real danger for a steal here if you're Team Laws, but I don't know how you're going to get a deuce. That's helpful, actually. Now you nose it, and the blank's alive.
Yeah.
Triple's possible.
And I think blank would be a win here, obviously the way it's gone, but even in general, you wouldn't be unhappy with that. Try to get your 2 and 6.
She is
Not
ripping
the worst
it.
situation.
You don't get the if you don't get the triple here, like if it jams or misses across the top, which are the only two options, it's never missing it underneath.
Yeah,
then they're going to split the rings, and you're going to have to make a freeze, but no danger of a steal still. So
no, yeah, I don't see a steal, but I think I would throw this quieter just to keep the blank alive. I'm not sure. I mean, if you make the triple, obviously it's great, but anything but that is
real thick.
Looking like a force.
Too much ice on the first, and I.
Guess you could tap that top red into like a little pocket over there if you wanted to, but you're gonna only be second shot.
They nose this. You play the hit and roll, like the pick the right weight where you can't go across the top and make that double into the top one and stay frozen for shot. That would be pretty good.
Yeah, it sure would.
Yeah, Rachel wants to roll, so that's not really an option, but it is an option.
Yeah, yeah, it's there, and it would be really good if you made it.
Even rolling into either one.
Yeah.
Brings the blank back.
If you roll into that top one and stay there, it's hard.
Sorry, I should have kept going.
For her not to just kill everything.
I heard you yell, so I thought I'd reevaluate, but I still had to go.
That's always an interesting one as a line caller, where I feel like I'm sure that I know what happened, but the person who threw it has a completely different opinion than me, and they're very vocal about it. I go, geez, maybe she knows something I don't know. And so...
No, that can't be the case.
I'm 1,000% sure it is the case a lot of the time, but you let up on this, and Rachel said, I heard you yell, so I thought maybe I'd reevaluate, and I feel that comment. Great shot there from Selena.
Just like that, and we've... what does Cullen say? He's texting me here. So it's Blanksville? We're on our way to Blanksville?
Blanksville, yeah.
That's a place in BC, I think. He now lives in Alberta. Maybe it's where he lives in Calgary.
Yeah, I've not been to Blanksville in Calgary. Well, I probably have, but...
Oh.
He's no longer behind the sheet, Chelsea. He's not here anymore.
Where's Waldo? We got to search for him now.
That wasn't him, but...
What's control? Oh.
Just ripping this out, I got to think.
Yeah, they had a little bit of
Try
debate.
and just tick it and roll. Probably not worth it to tick it and roll with this ice.
What? That can't be an option here. That's way too hard. Just talking about how Jocelyn missed it, and
Like, nose is still good.
just hit this and don't cross it, and it's fine. It's never going to stay in the house.
No, we just make the yellow go away.
Hit it on the broom side. Rachel's pretty good at doing that.
She is.
Yep, hard. Really
It was
hard.
a pretty gentle outturn intern for Rachel, I mean.
Yep. Right in between.
She's fine. Everything will go, and it certainly looks like we're destined for Blankville at this moment. Which I would suggest is a bigger win for Team Laws than it is for Team Homan.
Updates. Team Fujisawa, big steal of 2 against Team Skurlik, 5-1, playing the 5th end.
thrown
Team
a
Skrlik has
draw
a
yet.
potential deuce set up late in the
We
end, but
found this path.
right next door, Team Anderson takes 2 in the 5th to go up 3-1 on Team Tabata from Japan.
4 3/4.
And on the far sheet, testing my vision
Dear
and
better.
memory, it's 2-2 over there, and I don't even, the break sign is up. I don't even remember who's playing over there. Looks like Team Hasselberg.
No, it's Vrano and...
Oh, Team Rana. Well, Sweden, I was close.
Close enough.
I'm with
They're all
Nick.
the
We
same,
need
right?
different jerseys. Well, blue
Yes, true, yeah.
versus Team Ha.
Yeah.
Got to be easier to commentate at
you
Worlds.
can.
They got flags on their back.
Yeah.
And there's only one of them.
When they have the home and away jerseys makes
Yeah.
it easier, too.
Good sweep.
For sure.
Great brush.
So other than the Fujisawa Skrlik game, we've got 3 really close games, and that one's not over. If Skrlik can get a deuce here, head to 6, down 2 without, maybe get a steal and get themselves back in there. But
Yeah, Satsuki Fujisawa throwing a freeze around the corner guard, which is not really what you want to do without the hammer, but her last shot. So if she makes this, it's going to be hard for Kayla Skrlik, but maybe we'll have a chance for 2. No mistake by Rachel on our sheet. So blank attempts coming at you here from Caitlin Laws.
reminder that all 4 games, every draw, will be broadcast by Home Team Live. We only have 1 commentated today. As of tomorrow afternoon, we will start doing 2 games per draw. So you get to choose your game, choose your commentators, or choose no commentators. As long as you choose to watch, we don't really care what you do.
Yep. Yep.
All through the GSOC app, Grand Slam of Curling. If you don't have it, that's the easiest way to find all the games, all the stats. This is tight. Oof.
Oh boy.
Unforced error there, and I haven't seen Caitlin miss a peel in maybe years. So
Good sweep.
1 goes on the board for Team Laws, and we're tied at 4. Team Homan with control of the game again, and hammer in 6 when we get back after this break.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
I can't talk to you.
Welcome back. Another momentum swing in Team Homan's favor, and we've got a tie game, but Team Homan with the hammer back, so slight control in the game, and right now feeling like the momentum, although early in the ends especially, even last end, Team Laws had Team Homan in trouble, and hard to blame strategy when they miss the shots, so we won't even go down that road.
Okay.
But Chelsea, it's feeling like Homan's kind of in the
Might have
driver's
to
seat
finish,
again,
but
or am I making that up?
Go for speed.
No, you are not
Skrlik
making
now.
that up. And I would suggest that even if you walked into this game and hadn't seen
Split
any of it and you
center.
saw Rachel tied with
Eyes
playing
good, go
6,
for
you would
speed.
say that she's in the driver's
Go for
seat. But
2.
it
Okay,
feels even
that's it.
more like that just because of that
Very
shift in
nice.
momentum that we've seen these last 2 ends.
Corner, right? Yeah.
That being said, momentum is very fickle, so there's nothing saying it can't switch back here.
Hard to get, easy to lose.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you got to work your ass off to get it, and you're about a half shot away from losing it.
Exactly it.
Rachel looked down as if to say, are we coming around, or are we throwing a corner? So I think most teams throw a corner here. Important to score if you're Team Homan. Blanks, okay, but with the rule, it's not as good as it used to be. You can't blank 2 ends in a row or you lose the hammer. So if I'm Team Homan, I'm taking a shot at multiples here, but making sure that I don't take on too much risk.
Yeah, I almost think you'd rather take 1 than blank because of the rule.
Yeah, maybe. I think this is when that rule comes into play
Yes.
more than the rest of the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big factor in most of the game, but right now it is, because if
I'm
you
good.
blank 6, then you
Little
want to
bit of
blank 7
room.
as well, and you can't. and the other team knows you can't. So then it just gets a little bit tougher because they know you're going to try to get 2, and so then everybody,
Get to center,
it just
curl,
changes the
curl
whole
over.
dynamic of how you play that end. If you get 1 here, then even if you gave up 2 and 7, it's not the end of the world, and if you could ever force, you're really happy.
Good brush.
Double centers, I think that's a good
I don't know
call.
if it's there.
Don't know if they come around. Come around the corner, I don't think is there.
No.
Got to go to the center, which I think you want to do anyway with double centers. So
Yeah, I think you have to. I don't think you can. Normally, you don't mind letting the other team go first, but with a double center, it changes my opinion on that, because all of a sudden you can't play the freeze isn't really that helpful because you get 2 guards in the way. And I think coming around this first is the right call here.
Yeah, that's lots. Just 5. 5. Oh, curl.
line's not all that important here. You'd love it to be buried, but the most important is full top 4.
Touch center, you gotta go. Keep going. A little farther, a little farther.
This isn't great. It's in a good spot. It's usable, but I think if you're Caitlin, you go around everything, even if it's back 4 right now, and get some stuff built up here.
I agree.
If you hit that, they're going to try the double peel. If you draw, they might still try the double peel, but at least you'll be shot.
And you've got room to get it sunk. Like that red basically is a guard for you right now.
It's hard, yeah, it's hard to get to the nose of that. I think you could get it almost right around the red, right back 4 foot.
Yeah, I think you could.
I think Rachel's more shifting to, let's open this up here.
Okay, up, curl.
A little outward motion again, which again, it's pretty normal. Almost every team out here does it, but this ice is really sensitive to it.
Hard. Good sweep.
Good carve though, and yesterday we were watching them try to carve, and we even heard some comments from teams saying that they tried to carve it and it went even straighter, and today with the sharper rocks, it's a little bit more conducive to that.
Yeah, it really comes down to ice conditions, and I mean, we also, sometimes you see things or think you see things and you're not really sure, but
yeah.
I say with pretty high confidence, and I know Nicholas Medine disagrees, but I saw one today that flash carved, and Epping looked at me and I looked at him, and that wasn't going there if he didn't do that, and I said I 1000% agree.
Yeah, when I played mixed doubles with Colin, I watched him do some things to some rocks that they had no business doing otherwise. So I do believe that you can do it, but it is very dependent on ice conditions. Usually, the faster and straighter the ice is, the worse it is for carving.
Oh, for sure.
You almost want it to be slow and frosty if you're a team that relies heavily on carving, because typically that's a better conditions for that. And so it's still not that today, but it's not as fast or as straight as it was yesterday, so a little bit more conducive. And with the sharp rocks, that tends to lend itself to carving as well.
Merry Christmas, Team Laws, signed Team Homan. Emma won't be happy with that. I mean, of all the spots, that's one of the worst. So
Line's good.
I'm a little surprised that Rachel didn't take on the double peel there, though, and
Wait only, lots of room.
really make sure they didn't get into kind of a really difficult spot to score.
Yeah, I am too, because scoring is the most important thing here. I mean, you'd love a 2, obviously, but as long as you don't give up a steal, I don't think you're that unhappy about it.
Oh, Merry Christmas, and it's a gift exchange. Still not a great situation for Homan, though, I don't think, but I don't know if you have a choice but to draw now.
No, you don't now. I think you have to draw.
Has to be in the 4 foot, almost has to be biting the button. Because if you're top 8, the intern freeze is still there, and it's almost another guard.
Yeah, as long as you're full 4, it makes it pretty hard, but you need to be that.
See if Emma can make the slight adjustment from her last one. And
looks heavy. Whoa, off. I don't think so.
Rachel doing it all.
Whatever you think. Weight's close. Can't be deep.
Whatever you think, but just in case you were wondering, Rachel was right.
Never. Curl.
This is getting a little straighter, a little faster here, I think.
More out of her hand.
Rachel's been watching Emma throw draws and shots since they were 6, so she's got a pretty good idea, and that is not in a great spot.
And sometimes you can tell based on how it's running too, so it seems like something the line caller shouldn't do, and Rachel a bit more forceful with it than maybe some people would be, but I often would say running like it's heavy, and the sweepers would say, no, it's not heavy, and I'd say, okay, well, it's still running like it's heavy, like it hasn't curled yet, and it should have curled by now, kind of thing. So sometimes that will give you an indication of the weight, not always, but it can. So sometimes as the line caller, you're watching that and listening to what your sweepers say and going, these two things don't really jive. So then what's the answer?
Line's good.
Whatever the skip says is the answer. Was that rhetorical?
I mean, I think that would depend on who you asked. I've seen some people that would probably disagree with that, and I mean, everybody's been wrong about it, both skips and sweepers, but it's just important communication back and forth that, like, because as a sweeper you think it's okay too, and then if it never curls, like one of the biggest things that I've talked about with most of my teams and that you hear the top teams do is the line caller telling the sweepers when it starts to curl, because that's going to change everything for them. So we need to know when it curls, because A, that's going to bring the weight off, but B, if it curls earlier than we think it should, it's going to be light. If it curls later, it's probably heavy. So it's just like, it's a whole team shot. And you hear people refer to that, and it sounds like lip service, but it's not. It really is kind of everybody.
We're only one.
Got a problem here, Team Homan.
Yeah.
This is a good shot there. A nice kind of bounce back for Team Laws. Selena doesn't get shot rock, but
Sure. Time. Wow,
too late to peel.
It's gone. Lost forever.
Here comes Stouty. It's pretty early to throw a guard, but I don't know what else you do. Sure would love to open up that in-off. You ever get crazy and run that corner guard?
And I was thinking the same thing.
Do we ever peel the tight guard? Yeah, I was thinking that. It's going right into this, and it might come right back.
And they still just freeze bump, and you're cooked.
What do you like, Tracy?
I think, would we draw top 8?
With the out turn?
I think so.
Okay.
They probably throw the intern.
I think top 12, it looks like it's pretty quick there now.
Top 12.
That was a
Potentially.
15-1 that tapped.
Yeah.
So you need like a 16.
So it's getting faster there, as we said.
Well, it doesn't need to be a bit high, otherwise she's tapping it.
Is lighter better than heavy? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So still, it's Tracy's first shot, 6th end. You need to score if you're home, and you are sitting 1 behind a million guards, but this doesn't feel right to throw basically a guard. This is a defensive shot. You prefer your defensive shots with the hammer to be hits, though.
Okay. Yeah, certainly not to be center guards.
Rachel's thinking, I'll just make the run off double for 3 later.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love this. I guess the intern draw is there. You draw right beside your yellow one, and it's red's in huge trouble.
Whoa, 4 is fine.
But you better be pretty precise with it, I guess. Although there's not really a lot of risk if you're heavy. I don't think you could hurt yourself very much if you're team wise.
Hard line or over curling. Yeah.
Looks pretty good for line. That does what they wanted it to, but
yeah, it's like she wanted to leave it out there to run it, but you couldn't run it from that side and do anything with it anyway, I don't think, really, right?
No, if this shot here is made, I think it's time to call Mayday if you're Team Homan almost. Taking on water. This is super precise, and as you said, Chelsea, if this is kind of left top 8, it's going to look bad because they're going to be able to make the double, but actually I would think it's not bad because then on the next one, Caitlin can make it right to the button for shot, so.
Well, I just don't think you can even do any damage to yourself if you're heavy, so I'm not sure there's a terrible place to put this.
I think if you put it heavy and the little undercurl and Rachel then could freeze right in there, that would be the bad spot.
Yeah, if she could freeze and sit too, yes.
And this is a rocket.
Curl, 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 never stop, never stop, never stop.
This is where you didn't want to be there.
That's sweet. 13-9.
Yeah, I would suggest that actually making that curl was probably a mistake. The only good thing is you're probably going to be able to see some of it, so maybe you could at least kick the 1 out of there for Caitlin Laws, but I think you're always going to leave. If this is made, I don't know that there's a way to not leave Rachel sitting 1 pretty buried.
Big shot here in this game. If this is frozen just on the inside shot rock, Caitlin's going to have no choice if it's second shot just to hit it. It'll jam on the button and leave them shot and shooting.
Yeah, you have to hope you can keep your shooter in there somewhere for Caitlin, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to if this is made properly.
Line's good.
Something's changed with the ice, though. Everything's all of a sudden wide and heavy. Cannot chip and live wide here.
It's trying to
close. Got to get it right in there, though. I'd be carving that all day.
I agree.
Pretty good. Maybe even better than freezing, because
really
now
good,
you can't blast it.
Well, you can, but it's paper thin.
Out loud for a second.
It's not leaving the 4-foot.
No, it's going to jam. You're only going to kill one, and if you miss it...
back here, but maybe we have something on the next one.
I think you got to try and get to the nose and bump it.
Yeah, hair low, I think, if possible.
But if you do, I think Rachel has to guard, and then Caitlin might have like a
if we do hit it thin, it's
free run.
Dead jamming there.
I don't think you want to do that.
No, I think you try to get low with
But
back
it's just
8
coming
foot or
back
so.
and every second there, if you ever rub off, it's like absolute death.
Probably going to leave red line too, but
Yeah, if you get low enough, you might not, but probably, yeah.
Timeout.
let's see if we can hear what they're saying.
Yeah, I don't like there'll be 1-2, but then I guess if they guard, then it's just 2.
There is an in off that yellow
I was-
potentially.
You're reading my mind all over the place. I was just thinking that.
Oh,
I just
I'm
am
really
not,
good at that with women.
Just
Ask my wife.
Tickle
Yeah.
this and up
It's
there
great.
on
I
the
just don't
next
know if you
shot,
can
maybe.
see enough of it to make it with. I don't know that it curls enough.
Yeah.
Just
If you
trying to
could,
like
I
hit
think
it
that that's
thin
the
and
shot
get this one off the
all
button.
day.
I play that because I know
You're
I'm going to
losing
just
this.
feather the guard, and then I'm going to make it that way.
Which is
Kind of a
also-
2-for-1 special, either or.
Yeah, either or. Feather one of those two, and
I know.
something good's going to happen probably.
I think that's the shot, and try and get as low as you can. But
Try and get this. Then I think you got to get this back, so then you can try and get second on the next one. Then you got to move this enough so that you can get second on the next one. My only fear is if you do this and then it's absolute death. Yeah, then you're just freezing. Okay, let's call a timeout. Time.
Hear what Connor Negevin has to say.
Yeah. No. Yeah, like you can probably. Okay. Yeah.
so Connor's leaning towards
This
the
close.
hit. Even if it does come off the yellow, you are going to leave them only lying 1, and like you
Seeing
said,
right there.
Rachel's going to have to make a really good draw. So I could buy into that.
Yeah.
You might be able to squeeze it through. I don't think it ever leaves shot rock.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be shot, but at least it's back button, and then Rachel's got to place her draw in a spot that doesn't leave you a double on your next shot.
Another good timeout, and lots of time for both teams, but Team Laws has burnt both timeouts. You get 2 timeouts, and I think 33 minutes, which is a lifetime. I'd like to see them tighten that up. Thinking time, 8 ends, 33 minutes. Come play mixed doubles and tell me how you like that. Yeah, over 4 minutes an end of thinking time is a lot.
Yes. Hard.
She didn't like that throw.
Uh-oh.
When they go quiet, usually that's what happens. A bad time for not Caitlin's best throw there, and Rachel frees one in there. She can't lie 3, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. But
Weld this and leave space for her to pick it clean. It's probably best case, right?
I just think you need to be concerned about this out-turn angle run.
That's That's the best shot for Caitlin. So how do you take that away? Like,
Yeah, I kind of like it.
yeah, Emma found it.
No?
Sounds good.
You don't like it?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm in.
If we can nudge that over.
Oh, we're gonna throw a rocket and see if we can move that one off the
Yeah,
button.
I like it.
Hello.
Probably have to hit PLA.
Get by that top guard
Do you
tight.
like letting go nose? Yeah. Okay.
Even if you just ended up on the nose, I don't think it's bad.
I think you might leave a triple if you do that. And maybe spin it out of there and then leave Caitlin's shot top. This has to get by the guard pretty tight.
To make it, you got to squeak the guard, yeah.
She talks about letting it go at nose, which, having played Rachel a bunch, I know where I think I let it go and where she thinks that let it go is two different places.
I think so.
If she, like, I just don't think it's going to curl. So if she
That's
lets it
what
go
I mean.
nose, she's hitting it on the nose.
She's going to hit it on the nose. That's what I think,
I
too.
generally assume that with, if anything, she ends up hitting it on the high side. If with this kind of weight, it's not usually going to finish.
Bit of a game winner if she can make this, though, potentially.
Yes!
Did you hear that? As soft as she can throw her in turn by the look of it. Oh, she's really close.
Really good. Lying 3, no triple. And there you go.
She
doesn't
disagrees
love
with
it.
you're pretty good.
She has to get to the nose here. She can make the nose crotch double and then would have her forced to 1, but
I think we have to throw firm, but it's tight to that guard.
it's probably, I know they're lying 3, but you're never going to get 3 here, I wouldn't think. Rachel's upset because she wanted to punch that yellow one far enough that the back red one would be, she wanted to lie 4.
Yeah.
Could have got by tighter, but
Can we
Yeah,
roll
really
it?
close to perfect. It's, I mean, I think it's a pretty good result. But if Caitlin could get to close to the
I don't
nose
know
on
if
this,
we're missing
then
a
it's hard
piece
for
or not,
Rachel to
but-
get 2. Although
it's edge on edge at best, though. If she
Yeah,
hits
like-
that top guard, like the game's over almost. So.
yeah, it's really
Do you think we
tight to
can
get
throw
by.
less at it and make
Because
her
she has to
go
throw
slow
firm.
still?
If she rolls off, it's no good.
Definitely don't want to get
Okay.
this one close
Yeah.
and roll like 4 or 5 inches. And
The double for 3.
yeah, that would be really bad. So super precise. She did just get to see Rachel throw here, so
On the nose?
you don't have to throw this hard. So maybe that's the answer here. Like, you'd only need
Yeah.
normal weight.
That's what she said. She thought they had to throw firm. I'm not sure she does. I think you're not ever killing all 3. You're just trying to move the other 2 far enough that you're sitting second and third.
Last shot for Team Law is Caitlin with a tough one to try and get her team out of big trouble
Whoa.
after a tough throw on her first one.
Oh! Shooter!
Uh-oh,
Get
you
the
might
shooter
want
out
to
of
sweep
there.
that.
Get the shooter out of there!
Actually went right through
Wow.
accidentally, and what just, I need a replay, folks.
Sweet. That's sweet. Better.
I didn't see that. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think that was going through, and as always, Home Team Live's right on it. So which one of the back reds does it hit first? It must hit the left one first? No,
I
it
think it
doesn't.
just feathers the one on the center line first. And
Right
then
at the
spills.
same time, and
Yeah,
it takes-
kind of in the crotch and went right through the hole.
Well, I still don't know what I'm doing up here, but we know this is now all of a sudden a draw for 1 with backing, but
Well, I don't think they saw it either because that's not where they were trying
well,
to
nobody
hit it.
seemed surprised except for me, though. But if they knew that, they would have played that the whole way. They wouldn't have tried to nose it.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So
Curl then.
I think the only one who knew it maybe was Rachel because as soon as it stopped, she said that's terrible. So
She's said that on every shot tonight, though.
well,
She just-
yeah.
Line's good. Needs to curl for the backing, though, if this is
Yeah,
heavy.
Curl! Okay, you can curl then. You can curl.
Tracy's a good calming influence on this team for sure. Kind of knew that was close. I don't know if they got it, though.
Yeah, I think they just
1
did.
red. Yep, no problem. So a big point for Team Homan after an exciting end there. And we've got a 5-4 Team Homan lead heading to the 7th end. Team Laws will have the hammer, and we'll be back to cover it all right after this.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education, That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Welcome back to the feature matchup. All-Canadian battle, Team Laws, Team Homan. 5-4 Team Homan, and we've had it all in this game really so far. Lots of momentum swings, lots of missed opportunities, and cashed in on a few as well. So we've got a barn burner though. Team Laws looking to score probably multiples or take the blank here, take hammer into 8. Chelsea has a skip. What did you prefer here? I mean, it's hard to blank if Rachel doesn't want you to be able to, but what did you prefer here? Taking your chance at 2, or do you like really keeping it open, going open side, or going around to keep the blank alive?
I mean, if I got to choose, I would take 2.
Yeah.
And because of that, because it's hard, I think I've always tended to want to play this end like easy deuce. So you play the early part to set it up, but you make sure that you don't get drawn into it. And if you have a chance to play a shot where it's either like this is the aggressive deuce play, but this keeps the blank alive, I would always go to the one with the blank alive. But I would rather be one up without than one down with.
Yeah.
The stats say that you should rather that, but different teams obviously prefer different things based on their own individual stats. But for me, it was always a higher success rate of winning than being, but obviously tied without is the worst. So I would rather be Team Homan than Team Laws in this situation, because worst case you give up 2 and it's okay, but you can play the whole end for a pretty aggressive force.
Yeah, and I would agree. I had a good conversation with Nicholas Sedin when he was in the booth at the last slam, and he says they find a lot of times, because teams try so hard to force, sometimes they don't force you to 2, sometimes they force you to 3 in this situation. So it's a little bit different for 2 reasons. One reason really is that the double center coming home, obviously the no tick rule makes it much more likely to steal, like at least in your head as the team with the hammer, you're a little bit more nervous. I mean, these are 2 of the best leads in the women's game, as Sarah makes those kind of perfect double centers. If you're dealing with that next end, you don't love it. If I'm Caitlin, I like to take a chance here. I think if we make 8, we're going to get 2 most times, and sometimes we're going to get 3.
Yeah, I think you have to try for 2. It's just so hard to keep a blank alive, and then if you try the whole end for the blank and then you end up getting forced, it's kind of one of those situations that you're like, well, why didn't we try for 2 if we were going to end up getting forced anyway? So I think
just let it.
I think that's the play, at least at the beginning, and then you kind of reassess after your first few rocks here and see where you're at. But I don't know that you have much of a choice but to try. I mean, I guess you could go to the wing, but the only way that going to the wing is all that effective is if Rachel chases you, which she's never going to. So she's going to throw the 2 centers anyway, and then you better make your second lead rock perfect around the centers, or you're going to the wing again, and then that makes your peels harder. I don't know. I think you have to play an easy deuce early in the end here for Team Laws.
That's not where you want it. Kristen's had a really good game here, and that's not a good time to throw one back 4-foot. Emma would be happy to freeze this back there, but I don't think they'd be disappointed to be top button. But
as long as it's buried, you'd be fine being a little shorter, I think. Leads into maybe a borderline Donnie B3 situation with 2 guards. That's a lot harder.
They're going to corner freeze, and I think you want this frozen.
Yeah, if you got to choose, you definitely do, I think. But
switching gears a little bit.
I think so.
I don't know where this leads, though. Like,
I'm a little surprised by peeling it. Chasing it, I don't mind, but I think I'd be playing it quieter and trying to leave my shooter somewhere that I could maybe use it.
Yeah.
Peeling this, I get it. You know, you want to open it up, but it's on the top one.
Oh no.
Nice throw, Joss.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's just so hard to do. It's so unlucky.
It's the P. Simmons.
I know. I don't want to call it that because I feel bad for naming it after
A little short, okay, I think.
We'll see how good she is. See if she can do it again, though.
Yeah.
Doing it once is really unlucky. Doing it twice is skill.
Okay.
Is that what we're going with?
No, not at all. But I don't love the call there. You peel that off, and what are you hoping for?
Yeah.
That they can't throw a center guard?
Yeah, I don't know what the end game was with that one. If you're going to chase that one, like I said, you could throw it quiet and leave yourself an angle raised for your, because that's the side if you had to throw an angle for 2, that's the side you want it to be on. But I would want it, or even play it really quiet and try to like roll your shooter into the house is a good shot. So looking to come around this all again, I think, and end up frozen on the nose of this if you could.
Distance. Curl. Go, curl.
Yikes.
Really well done.
This is where Kevin Martin had some of the best lines. This is where he would stand up, put his palms to the air and say, any ideas?
Yeah, he did have some good ones. I also heard him say, which is true right now, life's getting pretty scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Needs to take on this double peel, and it's about as hard as they get.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Yep.
Sounds good. Oh, boy.
Oh, my God, that's so... That's as bad as the double feather tick and don't move it. That's very unlucky to hit that poorly. Really close to, again, she didn't miss it by enough. So close to perfect.
Whatever. I already got my Olympic spot, she says. You guys still got to work for it.
This way? It's just a guess.
Those are 2 pretty damn good throws that are absolutely terrible results.
Yeah, I think she threw them both really well and couldn't have been worse results on either one of them. Those ones hurt.
I think you want to go right in again. There's no...
Yeah, I think they are. Same shot, freeze right to it.
How
Even
many-
if you're top 8, it's probably okay, but...
How many times can we just throw the intern draw the button here?
Hard everything.
This looks light, yeah.
Hard everything.
I got to give Rachel credit. She's a pretty good judge from the other end.
Hard. Can you tap this? Hard.
It's on a tight one.
Distance. Hard. Try. Hard. Keep going. Hard. Anything hard.
This is a big miss, but there's still...
Yeah, it's not going to burn them too badly, probably, but it wasn't very close to being made.
What do you do, though?
Well, that's the problem. Like, it doesn't actually hurt them. Because they were in such good position before she threw it.
You got to move something in the forefoot here, like...
Yeah, I don't think you can, though, can you? Unless you run that corner in, but I think you got to save that for later, don't you?
I don't know. Everybody I play in mixed doubles makes that out-turn little chisel and stay there, or in-turn. I don't know. This doesn't look like it gets you anything good, does it?
No.
I guess a little bit across with a 5-second peel and make the triple peel, and then hope they miss a guard so you can hold them to a steal of 1.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be really happy to hold them to a steal of 1 right now, I think.
Nice shot.
It's not, though.
Yeah, I don't know that she could have done a lot better than that. But it doesn't really give you any more options than you had before.
Caitlin's got to start thinking this. I got to protect this intern slash to hold them to 1 or maybe get a
On that, if
mystery blank.
If the red rock, when she ran it in there, if it had spun out a little bit more and at least you could slash it into those 2, then it's useful. But it's still a bit hooked around that long guard, so you can't even use it for that.
I'd be going in the rings here.
I would as well.
Line's good. Yeah, line. Line's good. Just for
Full 8, kind of dead buried around that high yellow guard.
Not in.
Don't want them to be able to run
Make it a
this one
3.
in.
Make it a 3.
Could
Hold the
actually
line.
get rid of all of them. I
Little
wanna
distance. Yeah.
curl this.
Whoa.
It's gonna get there, but
pretty good guard, but yeah.
How much do you have of this one?
3/4.
Okay,
That's
you can make
optimistic.
this then. It's pretty thin.
Well, look where the center line is. The top one's
No.
almost splitting center.
I'm with you, but
If this nuts there, like if this jams
which is
7/8.
it's going to most of the time, isn't it?
7/8. You can't hit 7/8 with any weight.
No, not if you can only see 3/4.
You ever run the corner guard in now?
You could. I actually think this is the first time I don't mind the run
Yeah,
on the
see,
long
there's
one because you could run it onto the
7-8
red and
sword,
make the
like
double on the back 2 reds. And if you
piece.
just miss the tight red, you make noise on the ones in the house and it's better. But you still better make at least a run.
Okay, it's
Like you
probably
got to
just gonna
move
roll there.
3-4 rocks to make it any good.
Equally difficult, and if you're going to make a hard run back or a hard shot, let's make the best one, and that's the
I
yellow
think we
one
go
in there. I think
thin
you
and
could
try
get
and
even
get
the
a better
top
result
red
than this.
spinning
Yeah.
if you kind of dead planted in there. That red would spin because the angle it's coming at.
Exactly. If
Call
you
that
ever
the
made-
epping. He made that against us one year at the Slam in the semifinal.
Was it an intern? He's good at those.
Yeah, that was his Slam where he won it with nothing but intern
All the
runbacks.
intern runbacks. I was there. I watched it.
Played 100 in the final against Gertrude, apparently.
Yeah. It was in Yorkton, wasn't it?
Nice
Oh,
shot.
there's a good shot. Took away
Really
her
nice.
runner, though.
Nice shot.
Yeah, as good as she could have done. Better than I honestly thought she could do. But yeah, now you don't have that run, which was your only salvation.
I'm still going in the house if I'm Rachel. Top 12.
Yeah, I think a tight guard's okay, but
Splitting center,
I
you
would
like?
full top 12 is ideal.
It's getting to the point where
Just
I
high
want to
center?
make sure I guard that shot rock on the button
touching
because I think
center.
if you're anything but, Caitlin's got to chase that and kill it, and then at least the button's
Real
open on
tight.
the outturn side, and you got to make a good draw in there, and she might actually be able to draw the button for one.
Yeah, and you can't put it back there any better than it is right now with the way the rocks are set up. So
I would love this dead in front of shot rock on the button, kind of full 12.
yeah, Rachel said splitting center. I think you wanted at least that far. You could overcurl splitting center a little bit,
We got too much.
I think, and be pretty happy here.
Take a look, guys.
Rachel thought heavy, but the sweepers liked it. Sarah put the broom down on it right away.
Really tight. Go if you're light.
Just
Hard distance. Get it there. Look, slide hard. Go. Hard.
Gonna finish. Yep, distance.
Distance, distance.
It's got a curl.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's a good spot, Rach. Nice. Really good. Yeah.
Looks pretty good. Tough to chase anything. I still think you have to,
I
though.
think you have to. I think you have to intern.
Is it right there?
Try to intern chase it.
You could freeze.
I haven't seen this side in a long time, but I think Steve's
Just
okay.
how are you ever getting to it? Like she's just gonna guard it.
You could freeze for second, though, and then run the guard in. And at this
Yeah.
point, if you make
Press
the
the
freeze, you're like, okay, we're out of the steal of 3 and losing the game right here. Down 2 coming home, we have a shot.
Just wondered you could see an
Gotta
inch or
nibble the
two
buttons. Get a second.
of the red. I wondered if you could chase it with like a
You
back
can.
line or something, and you're probably not
I
going to
haven't
stay
seen
on
this
it.
side in a
Ideally you do,
while,
but even if you
I
don't, then where does she
think it'll be
draw
too
that
bad. It'll be more
that
for the
is
hog line
like as
in.
good as that one that's there right now?
Like 4 3/4.
This is the best shot
Nibble
if you
the
make
button.
it. It's so incredibly precise.
What's the tolerance here, Chelsea?
Yeah, I mean it has to be light, but I don't think there is much tolerance.
No, this is one you just got to make. This is why you don't skip.
Mine's good. Okay, easy then.
I needed that advice like
Too late for you.
35 years ago.
Needs to be perfect speed.
Curl.
Can't
Gotta
bounce
curl.
off would be the absolute worst.
Yeah, that's why
This
I said
looks really
like,
good.
light has
Curl,
it's
no
really
bounce.
close.
Curl.
Oh, it just has to sit. It's heavy.
Perfect.
Gotta sit. Gotta sit.
Right there.
Really well done.
Okay, we're not going to lose the game this end now for Team Laws.
What a shot that is.
I don't think she can.
Yeah. Gotta guard the outside.
Straight guard on the yellow. Hell of a shot there. Kind of made it with no sweeping, too.
0. That's an incredible shot by Caitlin Laws under as much pressure as you could imagine for this situation.
It's not really curling. It's on here. That really came down. I thought it was going to be that way.
That would have been a much harder shot if Rachel's on the same line, top 12, top 8 foot.
Yes, for sure. Hers being lighter
Higher the better.
left some room there, but my goodness.
Thanks.
Still to put that so pinpoint precise. Very well done. So the guard here from Rachel Homan. Probably don't want this terribly tight because she's the only shot Caitlin's going to have if she chooses to take it on is to run it in there. But big risk
Killing
to
the
do
line,
that because you're
killing the
running in the
line.
wrong color.
Needs to curl. Needs to
Wonder
curl.
what Team Homan would rather be. Would they
Whoa, it
rather
might
give
be
up a
okay.
steal, or rather take
Yeah,
a steal of
curl.
1 here, or give up 1 and be tied?
I think they'd rather
Gotta
give
go.
up 1
you
and be
got 10
tied
already.
would be
Go,
my
go, go.
guess.
Keep
What
hard.
would you
Keep
rather?
going,
Probably,
keep
so you
going.
probably should have thrown it in
Yep.
the corner. Because there's no shot for 2.
Yeah.
Terrible
I think, yeah, Caitlin's just going to throw this away.
I don't really see any shot that's worth. I don't really see a shot that's worth.
No, I don't think any kind of run in there is worth it because your yellow's spinning most of the time, so it's hard to score one, and you risk giving up.
Well, you can play the bump that Selena.
I just don't want to give them 2. Yeah.
Yeah, you could, but if you hit it too thin, could you ever give them 2 is the question.
Yeah, I don't think there's a
Or you
hole.
play the guard that Rachel just threw. We play it with like back line weight.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you're going to play something for 1, I think that's the shot. But I'm not sure that you wouldn't rather, same argument, right? I'm not sure you wouldn't rather be 2 down with than be tied without.
Well, we're going to find out what happens with Team Homan being up 2 without the hammer. We're going to be back for the 8th end action right after a quick break.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Welcome back to the 8th end action, potentially the last end. Who knows what's going to happen, though? Curling's a wild sport. Lots of momentum swings in this game, but Team Homan finds themselves with a 2-point lead, and Team Laws with the hammer, needing 2. Would love a 3. 2 would get them to an extra and keep them alive, but first rock of the end, Sarah Wilkes probably looking for top 4 foot, I would think.
Curl then. 9. Curl.
Not loving it, thinking they're heavy. Updates around the rings. Team Fujisawa up 6-3 on Team Skurlik in the last end, and looking pretty good in the last end into third stones and
Really good.
flying 2. Right next door, Team Anderson is up 5-2 coming home. It would be Team Tabata with the hammer, needing a 3 to stay alive. And on the far sheet, Team Ha, Team Rana tied at 3, playing the 7th end. Team Rana with the hammer and box all over the place, but Team Rana looks like they're in some trouble. A good shot from
16.5.
Sarah Wilkes right on the button.
Yeah, they were saying 9 partway down, so they thought that was going to go a lot further than it did. Ended up perfect regardless. It's all that matters.
Probably throwing another one in here.
I would think.
Little wider, curl.
Full 12, top 8 kind of thing.
Yeah, important to line it up.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. It doesn't actually really matter how deep this is as long as they're in a line.
Hard line, it's dying hard. Keep going, Em. You got it, keep going. A little farther.
Ends up in a pretty good spot. A little, another 2 feet of weight, and that would have been perfect. Caitlin's going to split take advantage of the 5 rock and throw 2 corner guards. And will Rachel throw a center guard, or will she go around a corner, or just kind of draw open in the 8 foot? I don't know. Chelsea?
I don't know either. I think if that rock was 2 feet deeper than it is, I think the center guard's a pretty natural call. With it where it is, though, I'm not sure. But the problem is you can't choke both guards. This is the argument for why you would throw guards on 2 sides of the sheet. This needs to be out of the house for it to matter. It's going to be.
Could split that red one, and then you're kind of, get them both close to biting the 8 foot. Kind of thought this might be the play.
Choke the one guard off.
Just draw one. Doesn't have to even be behind the guard. You don't want it behind the guard. Just throw one in the 8 foot where there's
just wide open and over on that side, and
no double, so that it takes 2 shots to deal with shot rock and second shot, and they can't draw around the corner for second shot.
Takes the path away.
See Team Jacobs play this a lot. Don't see it as much. A lot of teams don't play it, and Tyler George was telling me in talking with Nicholas, he doesn't like it. I don't like it when people do it against me. That's no good, though. That needed to be another 2 feet deeper.
Huh? You think you can get low? Okay. Even just back line. Don't have to kill it.
I would freeze on the shot rock for now. Leave this for a bit. That could be one I'd come around later.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't, but this is, yeah. I don't love the choke. I think when it's effective, it's very effective, but it's hard to make it so precise.
Yeah. Hard. Hard.
This doesn't look very heavy.
We gotta go to get this by.
Roll to a freeze? You dirty dog.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Get buried.
He just heard Caitlin apologize to Rachel.
Hey, Rach, do you like apples?
Yeah, right on top.
Don't really have a choice.
We touch our guard. We open it up to blast.
If they freeze in here,
Top 8.
it's going to look good for red for a second, but then there might be like a nose double to lie one buried and lots of corner guards. So
I actually wonder if the better shot is to tick your own, but then again, you're opening up. You want to close down the center, and you're opening it up on purpose. But
I hope you got a fresh drink because this isn't over yet.
Make sure we're here. Yep.
don't go anywhere, folks.
The smartest curling fans are watching it in their home bar, or they brought a bucket of ice and mixed in a bottle with them to the couch.
Don't pay extra for the drinks at the bar.
Not my fault if you're a rookie.
Hit this high, hard.
This is light and tight.
Oh, dear.
Need to get it off there.
Bounce off. Okay.
Okay, is not.
Freeze.
They're not telling
Top
the truth
button,
there.
top
That's
door.
not okay. Freeze right on shot rock.
Yeah.
Then they'll follow into the pockets. Maybe not. I think this is the play. Trying to figure out where the best spot is.
Yeah, like I think you almost have to freeze right on shot rock, but you're right. They're going to follow it into the pocket. But I don't think freezing on your own is any good either.
But it's always nice when you're down 2 if you have 2 in the forefoot and they're not hitting either one. So
True.
This is tight too.
Okay.
This is nowhere close.
Well, yeah, it's really light.
I have a whole bunch of staggered
17-4.
guards on the center line here.
Okay,
Rachel's not going
17-4.
to get to throw any hits up 2.
No.
Right around.
Oh, for sure. Anywhere on that path.
Yeah, you don't even have to be buried. You don't even have to be. You just got to be somewhere in front of this.
Top 4. Touch the 4.
Touch the floor.
Touch the 4.
16.
Bury an inch. Top 8.
17 and a half.
A lot of numbers here.
Yeah, she's giving them the time she got on those ones. For me, once you get much over 16, it doesn't mean a whole lot. So 17 and a half on Jocelyn's, that was the guard, but 16 on the one top 4-foot is, or top 12-foot, sorry, is good information.
Line's great.
Keep an eye on the corner guard, yellow corner guard closest to us. So on the opposite side of the sheet is where they're throwing here.
Clean. Yep. Whoa.
And be sure Rachel's looked at it.
Especially if this is made good. They might have to play it earlier than they want. Did they leave it? Oh, they left it. Boy. This is,
oh, that's really
not good.
not a good spot.
Double and roll behind the corner.
Yeah. And had dreamt up a much worse result than that, unfortunately, for Team Homan here. And so, big opportunity for Selena.
No, you don't want to do that. You got to do that. Roll under, I guess you're playing to make that angle raise for the win, but roll away, like, I think Rachel's drawn to the center.
Yeah, I know this is a bit scary because you're running a red rock at your yellow rock, and so I think that was the hesitation, but I think it's the better result if you make it. Just soft weight, hit and roll this behind the corner. Make basically a quiet double. You don't have to kill the reds, just move them off the button.
Straight.
Down 2 and 8. We just got to make all our shots. Oh, this is, she's playing an audible here.
Yeah, she sure is.
Somebody make something.
Okay.
I mean, that's better than it would have been if they didn't sweep it, but not the desired result.
Heads up call by Caitlin.
Yeah,
but not
good,
exactly
good
sure
audible.
what happened there. Do you have to draw here?
Yeah.
If you don't, they will.
You don't.
I don't know what's best.
Draw
I don't
is
think
best.
we can leave this. That's probably best case.
Okay.
Sure, if you overroll though, they're gonna freeze in the pocket and they're gonna have
also
first,
don't mind
like
leaving
second
that
and
and nosing
fourth with the
Whatever
runner.
you feel most confident
I think
throwing.
that one's more dangerous than this one.
Need to remove one yellow.
Don't have to. Not in the rules.
Like, I think it's here.
I don't know.
I'm just worried about them
Chelsea,
slashing this into here.
take it away. What are you playing?
I think this is the best result, but
Do you guys like
you
that?
can't overroll it, to your point, so it's just a bit touchy.
Yeah, then they come in free.
Something happened over there. Looks like Team Anderson's going to put a W on the board over Team Tabata. Also, Team Fujisawa closes out Team Skurlik. Two big W's there
Easier to me for now, but
for two of the higher ranked
do you
teams.
want to call it time on us?
I'd say those were both betting favorites.
I think so.
Timeout. Stoughton getting a workout here.
It's just really precise on ice right now. It's not precise, and I don't mind leaving this because it looks hard.
That draw looks like a gimme. Curling, and you could bump the Reds, I think.
Nothing. Yeah. Control.
The draws are really moving. You don't think it'll come up a little?
I just watched hers fall the whole way.
Okay. Like a board waiter rage?
Sure.
Okay.
I think it's here with board or here with control.
I like board.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Board weight.
Yeah. Even if you over curl a ton, Tracy, like we can get into that too.
Okay.
That's a big difference,
That's
though,
a-
because the
yeah.
in-between sucks.
She's not wrong, but that's just not really what you want to be thinking about. I think in a perfect world, you hit this as close to nose as you can without jamming on that back red. So you're just a feather low is ideal. But that's a really hard line call because you don't want to hit your red, but you also don't want to overroll. I do think this is the best result, but it's a really hard shot, and you're probably all sick of hearing me use the word precise, but it's so precise.
Yep.
She didn't even let it go when she was going.
Yeah. Looked like
really hard.
she slid a hair tight with the body and then set this back a little bit.
Curl.
This is in between.
Curl.
No, this looks really good. I don't know why they're curling this. That's perfect.
Pretty much perfect, yeah.
That's a big shot there. Clutch from Tracy Fleury on her last shot in the 8th here, and draw there. Time to run the corner guard
Yeah,
in?
I think it is. You got a kind of like those two sitting beside each other the way they are gives you a bit more room to run it in, like more things to run it into.
Right now you have the run double, and if this rolls in there, it most of the times will take away the run double.
Whoa!
Team Law's down to 2 minutes. Not a ton of time, but plenty if you don't mess around.
Look at this by.
Get off the corner guard.
Straight.
Sneaky.
Great shot.
Well done.
Second shot. I don't know how you get 2 now, though.
Yeah, I don't think you could have made that any better, but then now Caitlin's going to have to make the run and stick it and then somehow hope she has a run on the other side or something to get the other red.
I don't think that you can make this one in there. I think to hit it on the inside and make the double, this one's in the way.
I
This guy
agree.
Right here,
The top 8-foot one is in the way.
by the looks of it.
Middle of the rock, out turn.
Rachel trying to find the easiest way to peel this one out, not leave her shooter there for an in-off of any kind for Caitlin. Caitlin's going to have to run that in there, and then she's going to have to make the in-turn runner first, the out-turn runner second, or she could do it in reverse order if she wants. Going to have to plant them both.
Okay, straight through it nose. Yeah, I got an inch on the inside here.
And that's assuming Rachel doesn't do anything on her last one.
Yeah, she also gets to throw a rock in the middle there that we can't discount.
They do get to shoot, eh? You
Yeah,
can't,
you know,
there's no like skip a turn card.
Yeah, that would be nice. Only if she ran out of time, I guess. Which, with 3 minutes left, I don't
Oh, they don't like this though. This is
Just
the
leave it there.
It's going to be
it
on
there.
the close to the nose.
Oh boy. Doesn't have to play the runner now.
Well, that gives Caitlin an option here.
But still going to have to make a runner last.
Well, yeah, you're still going to be first and third, I think, at best. Maybe even second and third.
8 enders alive. Is it? 6? Yeah, 8 enders alive for red.
Do we have to play the end? Okay. The out. Yeah.
I wonder if Rachel should have played the out-turn bump. They haven't made a shot this end, neither team on that spot, though. So big shot for Caitlin. She can at least put the fear into Team Homan. You could even spin this one up so there won't be a hit on anything. I guess Rachel will always have that out-turn red one, top 8.
Throw the intern at this if it was me, but again, preference.
Oh.
Preference situation. As long as you get your shooter coming off that thin.
Oh, this is
they gotta go on this.
Gonna be good. Maybe roll to the.
Oh, I think that's not good. Where she rolled to, and now I don't know if the angle, either angle run is there now.
Guard?
Do you want me to slash that?
I want you to slash that if I'm on your team. Wow. You go there, she definitely has a shot to win, Emma. What are you guarding? Like that angle, really tough, this one here now is the problem, and this one's the problem. Both can come in.
Sorry?
Look at this, I'm out of control.
There's rocks
That's
going
why I was
everywhere.
thinking if I throw this draw, I block off this one.
Like what happens if Rachel just,
Looks like you just want to go like here.
I don't want to draw through Emma, but you can hit this red one into that yellow one, and I think you say, have you had enough?
Yeah, that's.
He has to then run this corner guard in and
It's just if I
stick it for
You gotta
2.
stick it. I don't know how you stick it. You maybe could, but it's only for 2. You throw a guard, you're always leaving the potential for her to make something for 3. There's nothing easy for 3, but.
What's her shot for 3 right now?
I don't know if you can slash that guard through the hole, can you, between the yellow and the red?
Yeah, if I can move this in the way of that.
Which one? Let me draw it. I got my thing's frozen here. We got problems, guys.
The one on the far left.
So you're trying to tap this, don't count this. You want a piece of forfeit?
I just want to block off that run.
Okay.
Oh, finally got
Yeah.
it cleared.
Yeah.
So talk to me, Chelsea. What are we looking for here? If you're shooting right now for the win, what's the shot?
Like, it does the wide one. Can you
This one?
send it through the hole? I wonder if that. I think
For
that
sure.
top red might be in the way.
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, our view from up here for
Looks-
once is better than the overhead, and I think it might be there.
Looks really hard, but that's there.
Yeah.
You don't have to throw that hard either. You could play
This
it really
one's
quiet,
there
and if you
too.
chiseled off your.
You stick it on there and kill the red that way.
Yeah, I think you could. You got to squeak the red, but it's there.
What's that ice for?
Yeah.
The tap?
On the yellow or the red?
Thinking on the.
Obviously, they're not trying to tap the yellow, but that looks like ice.
We were too busy trying to get the telestrator to
Wow,
work.
I
We
get
missed
a
the
new.
call.
It's like a kid on Christmas. I got a new toy. I'm gonna take it for a spin. Final shot of the 8th end for Team Homan, and this is far from decided here. I think it's a guard.
Go ahead then.
4, yeah. So
Wait
just
only.
trying to
Yeah.
guard. What are they guarding though with that tight of line?
Wait only. Gotta go for weight.
Hard line and wait. Gotta go.
Hard.
Gotta go.
Are they playing a tap on the red?
All you got, go. Hard.
That was my first thought.
Hard, you gotta go.
Line's
Hard,
getting
hard,
good.
hard, hard.
Go, go, go.
Okay.
Nice shot.
Oh, good.
We're going extra ends here.
Yeah, that takes away maybe both.
Okay, you're just bored.
Just
You're
gonna
good
play
up to
this,
nothing?
hit this anywhere close
Yeah.
to nose or a little
gotta get
bit
a
low,
handle,
and
if
ding
anything.
ding, and we're going extra
Like
end,
here
and
and board?
we get to submit overtime.
Leaves, makeable
Yeah,
shot
it's
for the
close, but if
tie.
anything,
but
we can be on
took
hand.
away the shots for the win, which I suppose was the plan for Team Homan.
Care more?
So she hit that in the same spot with like
Yeah, if you just
any
played
kind of
more weight
takeout
at it.
weight.
Yeah,
I don't think Caitlin would have a shot.
even just hack or
Lena said
board
nothing.
and
You like that ice?
bump it in
With
there
your
and
nose
move
or
that
hair
yellow out
low?
of the forefoot. I think you're.
Played the safer shot. I mean,
Yeah. And she had lots of options
Just
with
let me
that,
know
so
when
I
you've got like 20.
just don't want to give up something for the win to
Okay,
Caitlin
board?
Laws. So
29 seconds.
board right on the nose.
Got quite a bit of room low too here.
Yeah, you could over curl this and be okay.
Final stone, 8th end. Caitlin Laws. Game maybe deserves the extra end. It's been quite entertaining.
It has been, yeah.
Clean.
I don't think either team would say it's been their best, but
Well.
Fun for us.
Yep. Well.
fun ain't over yet,
Clean.
Chelsea. This is perfect.
Clean.
I think she's got this one.
We'll be back for an extra end, folks. Don't go anywhere.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casually.
Welcome back to the Sleeman Center here in Guelph, Ontario, where we are into some bonus curling in our feature match between Rachel Homan and Caitlin Laws.
But just go for
very interesting game, very interesting 8th end with a whole bunch of rocks in play, and the shot for three for Caitlin was not off the board for most of that end. Rachel Homan electing to throw a quiet tap to take away any shots for three, but left Caitlin with a soft bumper weight shot for two, and she made no mistake. So we are here in the extra end. Team Homan does have the hammer.
Who are you betting on?
Okay.
I mean, you got to bet on the team with the hammer no matter what, but when it's Rachel Homan, I would do it even more.
You're throwing them great.
My daughter says she loves my drawing skills. Thanks, Bella. I think I'm top drawer too.
She wants to play with your new toy as well.
And I'm just getting started. Like, imagine how good I'm going to get.
Hard to center, cross center, cross center.
So that rock did not end up quite on the center line. Sarah Wilkes playing the tick there. Didn't move it very far, but still a pretty good result. Staying in the house helps as well.
Perfect speed on that one. That's exactly the weight you want to throw. Team Rana closes out Team Ha. So Team Ha goes to 0-2 and Team Rana goes to 1-1. Kristen needs to hit the center line here. Probably needs to be a high one too.
Okay. Curl if anything. Curl. Keep going, keep going. Good. Nice spot.
Got the center line on that one at least, so not tickable. Looks like they're going to switch to the draw around here with Sarah.
Got room. Top four.
Gotta go.
Hard then.
Again, the line's really not that important on this one. Just needs to be full 4 foot.
5, 6.
Hard, you're light. Oh, you got him, distance. Keep going, a little farther. Keep going, hard.
Getting close to good. Pretty good.
Great spot.
Throw another center here, a tight center, and then is Rachel going to ask Emma to play the double peel where if she just misses, it rolls back to a center, I wonder?
I think she might, but there's some risk associated there.
Gotta be tight.
Need some separation here. Do
Curl
not want
distance.
this anywhere near that top center guard, that's for sure. Those are the two that
Okay,
do not leave
curl,
a double.
keep going, distance, distance. Get as much space as you can. Hard. Much space as you can. Go, 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 go. Good sweep.
Pretty good, but I think she's going to probably take on the middle double.
Yo. Just the top one? Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Peel the top, probably throw a high guard for Jocelyn, and then they're going to peel the top again.
Clean.
What's the long plan here?
Good throw. Nice throw him.
The only thing that was good about them not hitting the center on the first one and Sarah taking it to where she did is you might be able to come around that wide and be shot. So I imagine I think we'll see this same exchange for a while as long as these guards are made well enough that there's no easy double peel for Rachel Homan, and then eventually Team Laws is going to have to make a play into the rings, like you maybe go around that on your first one and then Rachel peels that and then you throw a guard and hope she misses the short run. I don't know.
If you can, but make sure you're over.
The out-turn draw is close to the game saver Caitlin made in 7.
Yep.
A little bit wider, but she'll have a pretty good idea. I think.
Yeah, very close. You're right.
I don't know that I don't think it would have hit the guard, the line she was on, but it would end up right in that hole, though.
Yeah, you might have to go a touch wider, and yeah, you don't want it. You don't want it to end up in the hole, so you need to stay out there and be probably just shot.
You got to take this double on at some point, I would think.
It's a little staggered now. It's there. Probably run it into your one in the house a lot of the time.
This
though.
looks real tough.
Just giving it a go, I think.
Yeah.
It's conservative ice, though.
Clean.
Not taking it on.
Just a straight peel.
I'm going to go 0 for the 9th end in calls here. Replace it again. Caitlin's got some kind of plan. I just don't know what it is yet. Got to be that out-turn draw, but I think a lot of times it's going to end up in that hole. Rachel will whip one down through that hole. He's got a couple of kickers, and
I just don't know what else you do if you're Caitlin. I think it's too early to do anything in the house.
come and just chip that red one. If you just chip it into the hole and open up the button, they peel it then now. And I don't know. Yeah, it's a pretty good situation for Rachel.
Yeah.
Eventually, are they going to freeze one on the top 8 foot, top 4, and then Rachel definitely peels the center.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think by the time they do it, it's going to be too late for the freeze.
They're good at these high guards. Those are not
yeah,
easy.
those are so hard. They've made every one of them nearly perfect.
They're not. Caitlin and Selena aren't talking about it either, so I don't know if. I don't know what I'm missing. It doesn't look great though. Guess just counting on playing that out-turn draw and keeping it buried behind the wide guard just shot.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do that, you can't wait for your last one. Like if you had a good rocks in good position,
come this way, or you can come this way.
Here we go. Because you need her to try the peel or play the chase and hit one of the guards, and then you maybe are in business. But you can't do it on your last one because then, like you said, she's going to have a short run or through the hole or whatever with kickers.
I just don't know how much we can get buried this way, but yeah, I kind of like that.
Wouldn't be terrible to throw one here, kind of top 8.
You okay with
but
it?
then they're going to run the center guard into that.
Or do you want to talk about it? Okay.
Could you ever get buried enough? Will it curl enough past the guard to get it a piece tucked behind the red?
I don't think so, but maybe if you wired the guard and
like if you went
if you
back
drew right
4
to the
even?
button,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Like try to get it as buried as you can.
That would be really good.
If it ends up in the hole, she's still got a decision to make. She's got to try to thread the needle. I don't know. I think you want as much. I don't think I would try to. I don't think I would worry about staying buried behind this outside guard. I think I would try to get it as close to the center line as I could.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes
Mine's
some
good.
sense. And then the double peel in the middle.
Room.
There is a double peel and roll into the rings,
Got
but the miss leaves the center guard.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I think you let her do that. And even if she rolls into the rings, you're still shot. At least you have something
Mine's
to work
great.
with.
Gonna over curl where they want, I think.
Keep
I
going,
need to
keep
stop
going.
sweeping this.
That's a good spot. Nice, good sweep.
Not a bad spot.
No, that's okay.
Center guard into that one, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel says no. Go for
We
three,
can go
Lang.
thin this way, or we can go a little thicker this way.
Yeah, so you could get all three, I guess, is what she's thinking.
Off this one?
Off the corner?
Yeah, I think so.
That's how you leave a dead center guard.
I would always be playing off the center one here if it was up to me.
I think I'd run.
I would too.
I'm with you. Draw this one, this one.
It's just
this way,
really
this
thin
way.
this way. It's a little bit easier this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to
But
see from down there
Sure.
what looks.
If I was playing the double peel, I'd be playing it off the center
This
line one because
looks
that's the guard you really need to get rid of, and you need to not leave your shooter there.
I think it's real close to a quarter.
Okay.
Thick quarter.
Sounds good.
This, to me, at least, worst case, you just peel the one, and that's not great, but that's the only one. If you're only going to peel one, this is the one you want to peel, not the corner guard.
If it jams, it could stay right here. Then Caitlin might have a hit and roll.
Yeah.
Or she could draw again around wide and.
Yeah, I like your shot was my first thought as well.
Nope.
But I never like hitting the corner guard first, and most of the time you're going to leave your shooter right on the center line.
This is thick.
That's what happens anyway. Almost actually went to a decent spot.
Not bad. So, 2 shots left. Here comes Connor. You get an extra timeout.
We'd be okay with that.
Are you hitting and rolling?
Wrap around it. Or you freeze.
I don't think.
But she can probably just throw a runner in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think you're freezing.
You like that?
I think
Connor cruising in with the answers.
my first thought was throwing a guard on the 2.
Oh, not a good time to freeze. The screen, I mean, not the shot.
Yeah, and say like if she's throwing a guard or something soft in the house, that's fine. Yeah, we'd have to get low. Yeah.
What do you think, Chelsea? Do you hit and roll now? It's too short a run double. Rachel's never
I'm
gonna
just trying to see what it looks like because if we're ever there, it's just like.
Is there a hole between the? Could you draw
Yeah.
behind everything?
This one,
like through the red, between the red and the yellow.
Yeah, you
I think
could. I
we're
think
a little bit
then she's going to get a free run double, but yeah, I think you can.
Like halfway?
Yeah.
And then we sit
I mean,
2.
either way, you need her to miss something.
Do you guard? Yeah, they're talking guard, and Rachel's going to peel. And then you play that hit and roll in line 2, and she.
Yeah, if she peels, if she's going to peel, then I like that, and she probably will.
Oh, I think she would.
Good with that? Okay, we were given there for center, so we don't need to curl much past it. Do you
I guess
like?
Rachel could say, screw it. I don't think you can get around that one top 4. I'm going to guard it.
That's what I might do. That's why
Yeah?
that's my only hesitation is that if she doesn't peel, then you probably aren't. But I heard Caitlin say that if she throws some kind of something soft in the house, that they would be happy. So
Think for. Okay.
So down to the
We don't
skip
give her
rocks.
Cross center. It's like that much less than we were giving for center line. Yeah, I'd rather.
like I think she'd peel. I
No,
think I would end
yeah,
up
I
peeling
like-
this, but I would look at the guard. Like I would consider that.
Okay,
If you peel it, the worst you have is really draw a
Yeah.
piece of the 4-foot.
Yeah.
They don't. Rachel's talked a lot about the ice, so she
Yeah,
doesn't love the
She keeps
the
saying
speed
it's
right now.
not precise ice and stuff. So then I
Mine's
wouldn't mind
good.
making
Curling
her
a
throw
bit
that
early.
draw.
Curling early.
And so she
Okay,
might.
line's
That's why
okay,
she
just
might
go
switch
for
gears to
speed.
say like,
Go
hey,
for
you make
speed.
something precise if she doesn't like it. And if I thought there was any chance she was
Little
going to do
finish
that,
if
then I
you-
don't
if
think I would
anything.
throw a guard.
Curl.
Looks pretty good.
Okay, well.
Because now your guard, if she throws a guard, now your guard is your problem because that tap was your shot, and it's or the draw through the hole, but her guard will take away both those things.
I just thought if I tap, then she's even.
Go.
I don't know why. It's never going to be shot rock, so it's never going to make the draw any different.
Yeah, drawing against 1 or 2 in an extra end doesn't matter.
Final stone for Team Law is need to make the double, then need a big miss.
No, 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 no.
Ooh, that's a bit of backwards action there.
Girl.
I think she's going to be okay for the double, though.
Girl.
That is as good as she could do, and Rachel gets what she wants. The exact same shot. Draw for the win. Lots of time on the clock, minute and a half. Chance to go to 2-0. Get one step closer to those playoffs. In a bit of a wild game, lots of back and forth. I think if this is made, Team Laws will think of a handful of shots that really could have turned this game around, and they had their chances, but Rachel Homan, draw the button for the win.
One more foot, you gotta go. Same line.
One more foot, you
Head
gotta
down.
go.
Head down, Sarah. You really
She
gotta
wanted
go.
to throw 2 or 3 more feet.
Really gotta go, Sarah, hard. Really gotta go. Push, hard. Hard, Sarah, hard. Hard, you got it. Distance,
15,
distance,
6.
distance.
Took the guesswork out of it.
I got it.
Never in doubt, folks. Team Homan for the win, 7-6 in a very entertaining game between two of the top Canadian teams. And on behalf of Chelsea Carey, Brent Lang, and Home Team Live, thanks for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow morning at, not me, at 8 o'clock for more action. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.